I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gorgano Show!
Live from the Xfinity studio. Well, good morning. Good morning, good morning. They did it again! Again! They did it again! How's it possible that Luis Arraez has caught the Phillies flu? PHLU. How's that possible that this dude, who at least gets hits, right? Batting champ, he's 0 for whatever. And he grounds into the double play to kill the rally last night. Oh my God, I can't take it. I can't take them. They should be racking up wins against these teams. Like, are you kidding me? Sanchez pitches the gem, and then Donny Baseball listening to upstairs. Oh, take him out. 6 innings. Take him out. God forbid he goes past 6 innings. Oh, my God. They are just so freaking annoying. Let's reinvent the game. So let's go back to the inning of the double play. Schwarber leads off with a walk. You're down in the game. You pinch run because you're down 1-0. You pinch run for Schwarber. Now, let's just say they wind up scoring. And you got to go to extras. So now you don't have your best hitter, your biggest threat in the game, because you had a pinch run for him because he's batting leadoff. Why in the world do they have this guy batting leadoff? It just drives me insane. When you have Luis Arraez, you like, imagine in that spot where Arraez hits into the double play, it's Schwarber. Because here's what Schwarber does. Schwarber will definitely work a walk or a fly ball, right? Which then ties the game. Instead, you got the contact guy who's great, put the ball in play, but it's a double play. And if I see this team ground into another double play, it's going to drive me insane. It's going to drive me absolutely insane. God, I hate the way they play baseball. What are you doing? Why is the lineup this way? Why is he taking Sanchez out? Like, these are games you need to win. You got to win these games. You know, right now you're tied. You have the Cubs. And then the next 3 spots are the Padres, who just keep winning now, Arizona, who's got a really good lineup, and the Phillies. And then St. Louis is right on your heels. So, like, you got to win these games. You know that, Nola's iffy, and Painters look good recently, but, you got when you got your horses, you got to win. And you got a bullpen that just stinks, right? Like, the bullpen, other than Duran, you can't count on this bullpen. Why can't this guy go 7 innings? Why can't he just come back out? I don't understand it. And I don't understand. I don't get the wisdom of the Arraez in the 4th spot. It's just, you overthink it. We're going to have 2 lineups. Stop. God forbid. Just put it the right way. They are the most infuriating. And now, look at them. We're in the middle of August now, and they're clinging. And by the way, the schedule gets tougher once you go to September. Schedule gets tougher. They are completely frustrating. Completely frustrating. So we'll talk to Corey early. I was texting with Corey and VG last night during the game. I can't. It ruins my night watching them. It just does. It ruins my night. I was angry. I was like, what do you, how long are you going to do this for? Your whole life? I'm like, I guess so. It's a curse. Curse to care. God forbid. Is the schedule come out yet for the NBA? It's coming out tomorrow. I can't wait for it. And, of course, thank God we got football on the horizon. Today, Franny Films will join us. We'll take a look at the breakout players through the league. We'll go with Franny's observations, and we'll take a look at Saturday. That's your team, bro. I'm blaming you. Your boy, Donny Baseball. Yeah, it's your fault. Oh, they're just, how many double plays? They're just a double play machine. 4, 6, 3, 6, 4, 3, 5, 4, 3. They're just double play. Oh, God. Oh, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I want one more run. Baseball's going to go away. I'm going to miss it. And I want one more Red October. Red October's a blast, man. It's fun. And Harper, I root for Harper, man. Him and Schwarber, they deserve it. Oh, God. Well, at least you got Wheeler today. And there's a pitcher, Leahy, for the Cardinals, who they should hit. And the wind's blowing out to right. All right? So the wind's blowing out like a heavy clip today in St. Louis. So let's hope that there's a long ball today. Maybe a couple of them. Right? A Schwarber bomb, a Bryce bomb, right? And then you get Wheeler. And poor Zach can pitch with ease today. They should win today. But they should have swept this team. This team's not that good. Good morning, VG.
Just like all things from New York City, Donny Baseball's overrated.
Yes.
Stinks. Where's the chat? Where are all the topper haters? He's like La Russa compared to this guy. This guy's got no vibe, no feel. It's unbelievable, man. And last night, the whole reason he's batting fourth, guys are going to get on base. Well, there it was. Blew up in your face. He's slow and he puts the ball on the ground.
I know, so let's bat him fourth. He can't hit a home run, right?
No.
He's got no power. Let's hit him fourth.
Yeah.
Let's clog up the bases with Schwarber batting leadoff. And let's hit the singles guy hitting fourth.
You had a better chance of me getting down the line faster than him.
So inept. Oh, analytics. They were late to the analytics party and then decided to turn everything over to it.
Oh, that's what they did. They had to overcompensate. Oh, I looked through last night.
I talked to an unnamed former Philly who we all love. All right. And it's not Charlie, but we were texting, and I could hear his frustrations through the text.
I don't know how you can watch this team and not be livid.
He drive me nuts. It's unhealthy.
You're feeling good. Bases loaded.
Football has to start.
The guy's got no command. He's walked the bases loaded. No outs. You're like, all right, here we go.
Right.
Here we go. No, nothing. I'm texting with you. I was like, I go through the whole game log of this season for Arise. The worst he's been is 0-5. This season. 0-5 has been his worst stretch. He's 0-15 right now.
0 for 15.
Yeah, and that's his worst slump Corey had since 2021.
Yes. Yeah. He comes right here.
Dropped 10 points in a week.
And he fits perfectly. Great job, Dumbo.
More alarming, in August, his average against the fastball is 160. 160 against fastball.
He's a junk man. He's like Fred Sanford. He's a junk man. Come on, man.
You gotta be kidding me. There's a reason he made $14 million on a 1-year contract this year.
Here's the problem.
How did they not see it and everyone else saw it?
Well, it goes, every team, he's been on multiple teams. He is what he is. For what they need, they just need another bat, right? A credible bat. So it's fine. I got no problem trading for him. And guys are going to hit slumps or whatever. But he's got to hit at the top.
I feel you.
He's got to hit at the top. Because again, you pitch run for Schwarber. The Donnie genius.
Right.
Picks up pitch runs for Schwarber. Now, what if you tie the game? Now you got no Schwarber.
No. We also talk about the fundamentals of baseball because Hill runs. Trey Turner just hanging out on first base.
I know.
I know. I know it was fouled off and it didn't matter, but what? Even Ruben was what is going on?
I know.
How is Trey not running there?
I know.
They're the pre-move observer in the chat. Kevin Long just getting slaughtered everywhere. It's not like he came in and adjusted a rise. He showed up and he's like, you got to do this.
Yeah. No, he's left him alone. So go ahead, Luis, do your thing.
Yeah.
Eddie Wright, Don Muddingly.
Is it mutt like a mutt dog or mud?
Don Muttonly.
Here we go. We got an early Uncle Frank tweet.
Oh, no.
He's got a message to me. Arise is the junk man. His wife's name must be Wheezy.
Wrong. That's the Jeffersons, Uncle Frank. That's not Fred Sanford.
Right. Come on, man. Can't get Wheezy.
That's a swing and a miss. You ball with the Phillies, Uncle Frank. In fact, that's even worse. It's double play. That was the double play ball you just hit into. My God.
Fit.co, $20 super chat, day 90 of me saying the Phillies aren't making the playoffs. I'm over this team. I'm over Bohm. I'm over Dombrowski. I'm sick of Turner's pop-up. Sick of the double plays. I'm sick of this freaking team. 3 exclamation points.
Fit Dad, you are. It took me a while to get where you're at. I still cling on to death.
I will say
Fit
this.
Dad, I think they still make the playoffs. But Fit Dad, you've been on it. You've been on it.
K Red says, please get Uncle Chat in the. Please get Uncle Frank in the chat.
Gotta be the
so
chat.
we can bully him. Dude, I dug into. It feels horrendous when you look at ground balls, double plays. The Phillies are 13th. They have 78. The Dodgers have 100, and they're number 1.
Yeah.
It just feels like, I think I feel like it's every crucial situation.
Every big moment, yeah.
They double play.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Well, the other issue, because Schwarber doesn't ground in the double plays while he's leading off, but, even when he doesn't. Harper's not a double play guy. Bohm is, Stott and Marsh aren't really.
Harper is
a little bit.
second in the league or third.
Oh, is he really?
Well,
Wow.
he's got 16. He's got 15.
Oh, he's got that many?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. It doesn't
I don't think that I never look at him as a double play guy.
Because they're low pressure situations. High leverage.
Yeah.
He usually comes through with a little better. He'll either strike out or pop out or get the ball.
They are so freaking frustrating.
And can we got a little controversy, I think. We got Mattingly's comments and Sanchez comments after the game.
Right. But Sanchez says, Mattingly says he wanted to come out.
Well, Mannion uses one word in particular that Sanchez does not. Julie Sky.
Why did you decide to pull Cristopher at 89?
I didn't want to pull Cristopher to start with, but checking on him after the inning, and he was done. So I don't know what it is. I know the pitch count was still okay at times. We've sent him back out like that, but tonight he was done.
I know you said McFarland was going to see some tougher spots going forward. Why was he the guy for that situation?
He's one of the guys available. So, and it really was not a bad spot for him. Just the walk and the stolen base, obviously early with the guy. They're kind of their best base stealer. Kind of went to a high leg kick there, and that put him under the gun right away. Kind of bounced back from that though.
Why'd you go to him? He was available. Everyone's available except they used one guy the night before.
I know.
It wasn't a bad spot for him. It's the heart of the lineup. It's a 0-0 game.
I know.
He's a rookie. I mean, it's his second game pitching.
I know.
Like, what's he?
I know. But I don't know.
And then he says he wanted, and then he caught himself.
Yeah.
He's like, I know the pitch count. And then Sanchez, I think there's a problem with translation, but Sanchez kind of implies he wasn't done.
I know. Well, he said, I heard it through the. Yeah. Let's do it.
You were at 89 pitches. Don said you were pretty much done. Was it the heat?
Yeah, pretty much. And I think we didn't lose it there. Maybe we didn't have our best offensive performance today, but they can't be put to blame for the loss either. I mean, it was a pretty good game overall. Tough loss, but it was a pretty good game of baseball. You know the type of pitcher that I am. I'll never say that I'm out of gas or that I don't have any more pitches with me, but. He's the manager, and we made a joint decision. We discussed it, and in the end, those things I can control. So he made the decision, and he's the one in charge to make those kind of decisions. So I'll just respect that.
Well, again,
I would never say I'm done.
Right.
Donnie said he was done.
Right. Well, in his mind, he probably looked at him and thought he was done.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I don't believe that Sanchez said he was done.
No.
Right?
He says.
I think he looked at him and was like, all right, well, it's hot. He's probably done.
He retired the last 7 batters he faced.
I know. How's he look
done?
He looked great.
You send him out, and if he's done, you make the move.
He's hot. He's in the dugout.
Yeah.
What he got?
By the way, he's not from Norway.
I
know. Christopher Sánchez could probably take the climate a little bit better than.
I don't know, dude. I don't know what the guy. I don't know what the guy looks at. I don't know. I do know they're so ultra careful, and it's like that across the whole sport. But they fall in the line. Like sometimes you just you got to push it, man. And by the way, Snell came back last night.
I didn't see how he looked. Prime form.
10 strikeouts.
Of course.
6 innings. 10 strikeouts. I mean, let me get his whole.
We got another $20 super chat from Fit Dad. Thank you, Fit Dad. Sorry, second super chat.
We love you.
You know why baseball's frustrating to me? The Phillies are somehow top 4 in fewest runners left on base in the entire league, yet barely hanging on to a wild card spot. Make it make sense.
I hear you, brother.
Nothing makes sense about these. That's why they're so frustrating.
6 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 10 strikeouts.
Guy hasn't pitched
80.
a
He had
year.
84 pitches. He struck out 10 guys.
Yeah.
I mean, football can't start soon enough, and I love it. I don't want to I like everything to go slow. I want to enjoy August. I thought we got you know what I have to say. I really am looking forward to tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is the Field of Dreams game.
I think I'm going to say Thursday night preseason game.
No. Well, yeah. But I love the Field of Dreams game. And I love the movie. I'm a sap. I love baseball. I love that whole thing. So I'm looking forward to that I can't wait for it. Right? I love that stuff.
Yeah.
And
it should be a really feel-good night.
Right, like a celebratory. Like I was going to have Mospo. I'm like, dude, let's watch the movie.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
Like we're going to watch the movie, then we'll watch the game.
Watch Nola pitch.
Right. Like in another world, like if we had time and I thought about it, like I want to do that Madden movie. But this has been a fun thing to watch Field of Dreams and watch the ball game.
Too, yeah.
Like that's cool, man.
Yeah, it should be a great night. I mean, we're lucky to be chosen for this event. Every time I watch it, I'm like, this is an awesome event.
You know? And it just and look, they'll win today because
we said that yesterday.
I know. Pallante's a ground ball pitcher, but I still thought they would get to him. I thought, today, listen, Leahy, he's profiles exactly what the Phillies said, right? And the wind's blowing out to right. So, right field, the wind's blowing out.
Yes.
It's got to be a Schwarber and a Bryce bomb today, or maybe even a Marsh. Can Marsh get a home run? Can he hit a home run? Is he okay for second?
He's due, right?
Due. My God, he's overdue.
So our buddy Hicksy, he says, he texts me and Jamie. He's like, we need a guy from the Phillies that we could take upstairs at O'Neill's pub to yell at. This is a reference to I wrote an open letter to the Eagles complaining, and Ari Reutemann responded. And he's like, I'll meet you guys. And we took him upstairs at O'Neill's pub, and he got hammered with people. Like,
Ari was a good dude.
He's a great dude. And he sat there and took it. And dude's pummeled with, this is what we're frustrated about. So, yeah, the Phillies, we could use someone from the Phillies to hear a little season ticket holder, a little fan reaction.
Yeah.
Live in person, unfiltered.
Yeah. I know. All right, lots to get to today. Fun show as always. Chat already off to it. Corey's coming up. We get to dive into it. Our man, Mike Sielski, is coming up at 10, and then Films or St. Francis of Football. I like that better. St. Francis of Football at 10:30. So lots to do. I love our Sielski Wednesdays. We'll go through the 4-for-4 landscape with him. And I'm so excited for Sixers, man. The schedule's coming out tomorrow. I want some dribs and drabs today.
Oh, yeah, we should get a couple pieces today, right?
Like, it almost feels like the NFL schedule right now. I hate to say it. I'm like, all right, let's go, man. This is going to be a blast. Clap your hands. All right, let's take a quick TO. We'll come back and we'll talk to Corey. Lots to get to. But first, a word from our friends. All right, let's talk about, Parks Casino. Summertime, anytime. Parks Casino, our casino of choice. They have it all. Action, headline entertainment, the Liberty Bell Beer Garden, a great poker room, and award-winning dining. Every month, Latin dance nights with free dance lessons and a live salsa band. Jazz night, monthly country music nights. You got line dancing, a live country band, plus comedy nights every month featuring a lineup of touring comedians. National headliners just announced: comedian Joey Diaz, November 25th. Comedian Tim Dillon, November 14th. Make the night complete. Stay at the beautiful Barks View Hotel, just steps away from Barks Casino. Tickets still available for George Thorogood and the Destroyers, August 28th. Magician Michael Carbonaro, September 19th. Tommy Chong, Jim Jeffries. Just go to parkscasino.com to buy tickets. Parks Casino, got to be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Now let's talk about Wah Wah Wah. I love it. I was there yesterday, Anthony. Daddy, can you get me a vanilla milkshake? Okay, Dad, you got it. You know those moments when you're looking for something sweet? That's where Wawa comes in. You got a craving. Anytime sweet treat, you go to Wawa. Strawberry cheesecake cream smoothie. How about something like, it tastes like summer, the pina colada float? You're looking for something you can dig into? The caramel cookies and cream parfait. Oh, you can't beat that, all right? It's perfect as an afternoon pick-me-up, a little reward after a long day, even the late-night dessert run after, like last night. Daddy, give me the vanilla shake Wawa. No matter what you're craving, Wawa's got ice cream parfaits, floats, cream smoothies, ready whenever you are. Sweet treats. Got to have Wawa.
Got a super chat. $4.99 from Hersey Hawkins, 33. 1 week, Phil should ditch analytics, see what the offense does, see how many runs they can score. Side note, any update on the college fantasy football league?
Yeah, in fact, I'm going to leave it up to you.
See, I'm not a great person to get this stuff in motion.
All right, what about the bro? The bro doesn't do anything. Yeah, right? What do you think, Jules? Because my man, W.R. Ferguson, he's like, dude, I'm in. I'll do it. I want to, like, he's gung-ho for it.
All right, yeah.
Like, we got to figure it out. Like, I got too much on my plate.
I feel you.
Right? Like, you just got to give me a time to show up. Like, between work and everything with the show, the network,
yes,
the kids. Like, we got practice now every night.
We should try to do half staff and half listeners.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down.
Viewers.
But, like, we got to figure it out because I just need to do it.
All right, we got like 3 weeks before.
It's got to be an online late-night draft.
All right.
All right. Yeah, online late night draft.
Well, man, I'm kind of busy late at night. I gotta get there's not good Wi-Fi out there roaming around these streets.
Well, we got practice every night till what time I got home last night? 9 o'clock.
Jeez, oh man.
Yeah, so Anyway, but I would love to do it. So we just need somebody to be the quarterback.
All
right. Let's go to our friend on the Xfinity mobile call-in line. Such a great baseball man. I love talking baseball with him. Corey Seidman.
He's the man. This moment Corey Seidman. Corey Seidman. Corey Seidman.
Corey.
Says it all right there.
You knew you were getting that text last night, didn't you?
Oh my goodness, what a frustrating game that was. I could just, I felt the exact same way you did watching that play out. And Luis Ariz comes to the plate, bases loaded, nobody out, 8th inning. You're thinking this is the moment you got him for. Phillies are going to put together a big comeback, and nope, just more of the same frustration.
Once again, Core, this is why Ariz hits leadoff and Schwarber hits cleanup. Once again, because Schwarber You have to go pitch to him, or he'll walk, or he'll hit a fly ball and score the run. Right? Like, that's how baseball was played for many, many years. That's why it makes sense to build a lineup that way, not backwards.
There's also, the possibility Schwarber would strike out, but I'm in agreement with you. And this lineup structure really has not worked a week in. Like, the Phillies have won 7 of their last 11, but it doesn't feel like that to anybody because they're not coming through. They're not executing offensively. The bullpen isn't getting outs at the end of games. But the Arise component, it's been interesting so far because it's really fueled Bryce Harper to be his most patient and selective and laying off pitches. He's done that the best since all season with Arise, and it's obviously because he trusts the hitter behind him more than he did previously. But nothing else is going well at the top of the order.
You think he would
also
trust?
have
You think he would trust Schwarber?
Of course, yeah, of course. And you also have Schwarber hitting for power again right now as well. So if Schwarber does pop a homer, there's more likely to be guys on base if he's hitting cleanup. I would not be surprised if the Phillies switch that up here in the next couple of days. They, again, their rationale is they want their best hitters.
I know their rationale. Their rationale is ridiculous. It's they want to reinvent everything. After they were so late to the party, now they want to reinvent it. Like, again,
Hey,
it goes.
the day
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Corey.
No, I was just going to say, the day they got Arise, we sat here, we all assumed he was going to hit leadoff. Everybody everywhere assumed he was going to hit leadoff. Luis Arise hitting cleanup was not part of that equation when we were first breaking it down, but they have settled on that for the last week, and hopefully they're going to be nimble with it the way they've been nimble where they had Alec Bohm in the lineup. Like, they moved him down. I would think this is all pretty fluid.
They're going to be stubborn. They're going to be stubborn, and it's like everyone assumes leadoff. When you think you're the smartest guy in the room, you're usually not, and they're pot committed to this just to save face. They're going to do it for at least 2 to 3 weeks. I feel like.
Yeah, I think the same thing. They're a spite team.
They are.
They're a spite team. The Phillies. They don't want to go, you were right.
Right.
I was going to say, to that point, I sent Jamie a similar text last night about the whole Bryce Harper right field situation because, there was an article by Charlotte Varnes in The Athletic about how Harper's dealing with this knee injury and how the move to the outfield has exacerbated it or prolonged what he was feeling. And it's how obvious is this to everybody at this point that the move to the outfield was not the right thing to do at this point in the season for a guy who's played every single day, who moved off of that position because of injuries and is now 4 years removed from last playing the position. So it almost seems like now, even if they realize that they should move Harper back to first base, they're not going to do it today or tomorrow because it would be an admission that this entire plan was stupid. It was ridiculous.
Yes. That's exactly it. And you go, we reconfigured everything for Alec Bohm. Again, it goes back. All roads lead back to Bohm. They reconfigured this whole thing for Alec Bohm. What sense does that make, Core? Meanwhile, Derek Hill and De La Cruz have been, good.
And they have an out. His knee flared up, so we're putting him back to first. We don't think it's healthy. They have an out. They can get out of this with safe face.
It just strikes me as something they're not going to do here for at least a couple days because it would just be an admission of how ridiculous this whole situation was to begin with. And this is even reaching national attention because I saw that MLB Network yesterday did a segment on, is the Phillies defensive repositioning even worth it? And it's the same stuff we've been talking about for the last week is okay, we understand the move on the face to get a rise, but not to do all these other things. That wasn't why they lost last night. But, it hasn't helped that the Phillies, since those first 3 games of a rise, they've gotten his coldest stretch in 5 years. He's 0 for his last 15. He hasn't been 0 for 15 over a 3-game span since August of 2021, Luis Arise. So we saw the good of him in the first 3 games, and these last 5, we've witnessed just how bad the downside of Luis Arise can be, and perhaps why several other teams soured on him. You load the bases with patience. He extends the zone, second pitch, low and in off the plate, hits a weak ground ball right to the first baseman, and you're pretty much out of that inning from that point forward. Just disappointing all around from the Phils last night.
What do you make of it, Sanchez, while he was done? Well, I didn't say I was done. That's the manager. What? Read through the lines when it comes to Sanchez and Donny Baseball.
Well, Sanchez told reporters last night that it was a mutual decision. So, like a lot of times, the manager will go up to the starting pitcher in the dugout after that inning and will say, "Do you have anything left?" And he says, "Like, oh yeah, I'm good to go. I can keep going." That sounds like more of a situation where Sanchez agreed with him. So maybe Sanchez wasn't asking to come out, but him accepting the hook there tells you that he probably wasn't feeling 100% either. But it was strange because he was at 89 pitches. There had only been one runner in scoring position all night. He hadn't walked anybody. He's averaging like 14 pitches per inning at that point. So it screamed one more inning from Sanchez, especially given the state of the Phillies bullpen.
Exactly.
And of course he comes out. Alex McFarland comes into his first pressure situation, walks the leadoff man, and he comes around to score. That's the fear of a guy like McFarland. He throws really hard. We saw him blow a fastball by Alec Burleson last night to strike him out, but he also has been prone to walks in the minor leagues, and that one came back to bite him.
Yeah, dude. It's funny because I know it was hot. So my guess is that, hot. He's probably is somewhat gassed. Manley looks at him, is like, all right, well, you're done. And he's like, whatever, in this spot, like you're playing a team that's behind you. That's not, your lead's not exactly, a huge lead. So you're in a race with two other teams it's three teams for two spots, basically, not even counting the Cardinals. Like, you got to get these wins. Like, you can't waste a night where he's so good.
And Sanchez will probably get an extra day of rest before his next start because the Phillies are off Friday. So unless they pitch him on short rest Sunday and skip somebody, he's not pitching again until Monday. So you'd figure maybe extend them that extra inning. I will say, watching games from around the league last night, it was like oppressively hot everywhere last night around the country. I was watching the game in Minnesota. Both pitchers are sweating their butt off. The game in D.C., both pitchers were sweating like crazy. It's the dog days of August right now. So you could see why guys are, losing some extra calories and losing some energy out there on the mound. But right now, the Phillies it's like I said to you the other day, this team has 9 studs, and every single series, every single game almost, they need all 9 of those guys to have their best game, to have their best series, or else they're not going to win because of the lack of depth on the rest of the roster, like the lack of bullpen that they have. Hopefully they're able to finish this series off with a win this afternoon. You have Zack Wheeler going, so you figure that he should be in for a good game against the Cardinals. But the flip side of that is that means that your next series coming up against the Twins is a Painter-Nola series, which is always more challenging.
Yeah, luckily it's the Twins, and it's not, they're not, they're a lot of holes in that lineup. They're not hitting the ball. Well, Cody Clemens, though, has had
he's
ridiculous. He's got like 20 home runs.
21, I think.
Like
I hit one off Miz last night.
Yeah, the other night. Yeah.
Did he really?
Mm-hmm.
And he got Matt Strom DFA'd. He got Matt Strom DFA'd a couple weeks ago.
Who did they
with
choose?
That walk-off grand slam.
Who did they choose over Cody?
Weston Wilson.
Yes. Weston Wilson.
Come on. All your boys. Oh, my God. I'm curious to see what Wheeler looks like. He didn't look good Friday night. He, really labored with his commands. And I'm curious. Now, this is a lineup that you should be able to navigate. You got a couple trouble spots. You got Weatherholt leading off, who's a really good rookie left-hander. Burleson, who you mentioned a little earlier, Herrera. But other than that, it's not a great lineup. The wind is blowing out at a big clip today to right, so it's going to favor lefties. So my guess is against Leahy, I could see Schwarber and Harper maybe going yard. But Wheeler, I need Wheeler to get back to that. He hasn't looked. He had the one rain start. You need a good outing today from him.
Yeah, it's been very weird his last couple times out, and you're just expecting a win every time Sanchez or Wheeler pitches. So when it is a rain-shortened outing or Zack Wheeler uncharacteristically walking 5 batters, you just shake your head. I mean, I look at this Cardinals team. Weatherholt and Walker are your 2 best offensive pieces for the Cardinals, but they've both swung and missed and expanded the zone a lot in this series. That Cardinals team looks like they're kind of playing out the string, even though they are only 3.5 games behind the Phillies. Aggressive, free-swinging lineup aside from Ivan Herrera.
Yeah, Walker's been struggling since the home run derby.
And I thought that home run derby was going to like be his launching point because he was already having a really good season. But now you performed under high pressure in a road environment, and you have Barry Bonds and Albert Pujols telling you how great you are after the derby. I thought that was going to be like the beginning of the next step.
It was a great story. It really was.
Yeah.
I think Burles is the most dangerous in that lineup, like at least today against Wheeler, because he does have power and the wind blowing out to right.
I thought that was a great comment Ruben Amaro Jr. made the other night about Burleson, that he reminds him of John Kruk. It is kind of like the hitter Kruk was, just up there scrapping, and he can get guys from both sides and hit doubles, and he's a dangerous hitter. I just think that Wheeler's going to have too much for these guys. I think that he's going to expand the zone just a smidge. He's like the master at that fastball just high above the zone, or just off the outside corner. So I'm thinking bounce back for him. It's just, is the offense going to do enough? Because Bryce Harper, he also doesn't seem totally right at the plate right now. And I don't know if this is knee related. I don't know if this is just like flukiness of missing hittable pitches, but he's walked a ton with Luis Arraez. He's walked 14 times in his last like 5 or 6 games, Harper, but he's missed so many meatballs. And that was the case again last night. Comes up with runners on base, grounds into 2 double plays. Thankfully, he walked ahead of that Arraez double play. Phillies into 4 as a team, but Harper just like, I don't know if it's that he's a step slow, or that he's been a little bit late or not trusting himself, but he just, he had a little hot stretch there for a while, but now it's back to, like the mediocre looking Bryce, and hopefully he's able to maneuver out of that, and hopefully this whole right field experiment is not sapping him of his offensive ability, because that's what matters more than anything else. Like Bryce Harper's positional thing, whatever, that's secondary. Is he performing at the plate? That's why you have him here.
Yeah. What do you think of, because one of the other things today, like I look at today, is Marsh. Like, you need something more. Like, he's got to start waking up. I mean, he's had a hit here and there, but not the power is not there that you saw in the first half. So, let's get a little Marsh action going today.
He got a fastball right down the middle, I think, in his last at bat last night, and he laced a line drive off of Weatherholt's glove into right field. And that was the kind of swing that we saw so commonly in the first half, that if you made a mistake to Brandon Marsh, he was going to make you pay, as opposed to fouling it straight back or, beating it into the ground. And look, this is the time, like right now, the Padres, who just tied the Phillies last night in the wild card race, the Padres are on fire, by the way. They're won 14 of their last 17. They're playing their best baseball of the season. And they have several hitters, that we talked about earlier in the year being ice cold, like a Tatis, Jackson Merrill. Those guys are performing like Brandon Marsh did the first half.
Tatis going to hit 20, 25 home runs lined up. He didn't have a home run for 3 months.
I think he has like 17 extra base hits in his last 17 games, something like that. It's a crazy stretch that he's on. It seems
fire.
Yeah, so and they just got Robbie Ray and Casey Mize too. So that's a team to be reckoned with. Yeah. Like, the playoffs are not guaranteed for this Phillies team. They're in a 3-way tie right now with the Diamondbacks and Padres for those second and third wild card spots. So one of those teams can't make it. The Phillies have more talent than the Diamondbacks, but I don't know if that even matters over the course of 40 games where anything can happen. Like, bullpen volatility can nullify so many other elite pieces of your roster.
I know. And that's why this month, the month of August, was so important for them, because this is where you need to make a lot of hay. This is where you got to make up. Because I agree with you. I think the Padres are in. I think it comes down to the Phillies and Diamondbacks. I don't think St. Louis is enough, and they don't have enough pitching. I think it's going to come down to Arizona. And, I mean, look, their lineup is good. I mean, Marte's just every night he hits a home run, or he's just always, right? Corbin Carroll is heating up. So they got, Arenado. He's still hitting home runs. Like, hit a grand slam 2 nights ago. Like, they have a good lineup. I don't know about their pitching, but it's going to come down between the Phillies and Diamondbacks.
Yeah, it is. And the Phillies, just around the corner here, have another West Coast road trip. So it's a long West Coast road trip. 3 in Seattle, 3 in Los Angeles against the Angels, 3 in Arizona. That's not going to be easy, especially during the dog days of summer. And that's going to be a very important head-to-head series out in the desert against the D-backs that might end up determining whether the Phillies do or don't make the playoffs.
When is that? When's that trip?
That's August 24 through September 2. So the Phillies go Cardinals, Twins, Marlins, Cardinals, and then they go out on that long West Coast trip. That's they
Seattle, Angels, Diamondbacks?
Yeah, 9 games.
Oh, God. I don't feel good about that trip because Seattle is where they got pitching, and that's where bats go to die in that ballpark.
It's a brutal place to play for a road team.
And then
I
the
mean,
Angels, the Angels stink, but, I could see Reed Detmer shutting them down. Lefties, they'll throw the lefties against them. And then who's been pitching well for Arizona? Brandon.
He has been. Yeah, he's been really good.
I hate him. I hate that dude.
He had that great 2023 NLCS against the Phillies, then did nothing for the next 2 years, and now it seems like he's back.
And
on
he's
a roll.
pitching well because he throws slop, junk. I can't stand that dude. God.
Yeah, this is a big next 2 weeks for the Phils, man, because like that Seattle series, we're looking ahead a little bit, but bats do go to die there. You see road teams go there, and like Brian Wu and Logan Gilbert, those pitchers are so much better at home than they are on the road because they can allow deep fly balls and you're not going to hit one out. So like when the Phillies go there, they can't be thinking home run or bust. That has to be a series where you string hits together. Every series has to be a series where you string hits together. And something I was looking up this morning is just as the Phillies are trying to find that right-handed answer in the 5 spot, right? Now it's JT Realmuto. So JT has 1 multi-hit game in his last 12. Alec Boehm has 2 multi-hit games in his last 14. Like there is just nobody they can find who's been able to go into that spot and like actually have a good game. Like give me 2 singles. Give me an RBI double. It's just been so difficult for the Phillies to find any sort of consistency from the right side of the plate to the point where like, why not hit Derek Hill 5th and see if it works? Like the guy's come through in so many situations.
He's the only person who's had any kind of life, it feels like, outside of the superstars.
I know.
I'm worried about the frustration because I'm reading this thing. Jimmy Stakes, he asked Mattingly about Crawford showing his frustration, throwing his helmet. We've had Boehm smacking his bat again. And they ask,
it's just like my 13U team.
Yeah, Jimmy Stakes says, for Crawford, it's uncharacteristic, but does that sort of sum up the frustration offensively you guys are feeling? And Mattingly says, I don't feel like we're feeling that much frustration, honestly. I think it's the frustration.
That's an all-timer.
Put out.
Dude. I mean,
like, is he the guy to handle the slump and all this? I don't know. I don't know what he does right.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm curious if this thing goes sideways. What happens? Like if this thing goes sideways and they miss the playoffs, well, don't you have to redo everything?
Everything would be on the table at that point. Everything. I mean, even the things that you don't think, like there was a report a few weeks ago that the Phillies are probably going to extend Dave Dombrowski. If they miss the playoffs, that's another hard conversation that's going to be had.
I mean, that's ludicrous. The extension and then the succession plan.
Succession plan.
You got to be kidding me.
Succession plan of what? Like disappointment and frustration and failure?
But if they miss the playoffs, though, like that changes that whole equation because then there's going to be so much more public pressure and outcry, even more so than there would be if the Phillies make the wild card round and lose in 2 games. Like I already think that no matter what, certain guys will not be back. Like Boehm obviously will not be back. He's a free agent at the end of the season. They would have to like actively re-sign him, which they would never do at this point. Jose Alvarado will not be back. I would be 50-50 as to whether Orion Kerkering is back, and if he is, it would probably be in like a much less important role.
No, he cannot pitch. The doe eyes cannot pitch in Philadelphia.
So there will be like turnover in the sense that the players that fans are most frustrated about, they won't have to watch next season, I highly doubt. Maybe aside from an Aaron Nola. But yeah, like if they miss the playoffs, that would just be an unmitigated disaster in a year with a $320 million payroll that's richer than every team other than the Dodgers and Mets. And like even in the worst case scenarios that we would have drawn up in March, none of us would have had the Phillies missing the playoffs.
No.
Like just imagine, it's just such
even when they were
ludicrous
slumping,
thought.
I'm like, nah. They go up to the rough start. They're still going to make the playoffs. Like they got to make the playoffs. I don't understand this whole succession plan and Dombrowski. Like, he's going to have Logan Roy be his be his successor? Like, give me a break. This is unbelievable. I look at him, he's Daryl Morey to me. He's Daryl. Go in, no plan, slapping guys in together, fixing things last minute. He's got to go. The fact that they're in this shambles with that payroll and those 3 starters, and the closer, you got to tell me why he's good. Like, seriously, you got to tell me why he's good with that payroll.
I wonder if what's happened with the Phillies under Dombrowski the last few years is an example of him leaning on all the past success he had. I'm not saying that, like, because he had success in the past, he no longer has to make good moves. I'm not saying that. What I mean is that he has confidence in himself to figure it out on the fly because he's done it in the past. But he has not been able to do that here.
No.
And it speaks to what you're saying about the lack of a plan. Like, how did you not add starting pitching depth in the offseason? How did you not add more bullpen help? Why did you enter the season so reliant on Alvarado and Kerkering?
Why is your lineup so broken? And it's been broken, right? How come you failed to move Alec Boehm for 3 years and not just bit the bullet and got rid of him? Like, there's been so many mistakes. And people go, well, he's done some good things. Well, every GM with that payroll is going to do some good things. Like, give me a break.
Right.
Like, my point is that he has done nothing to warrant an extension. And in fact, they need to change. They need to get new blood in there. It needs to change. It just does. Their direction, their thought process, the way they do things, the way they develop players, their minor league system is bad. Again, they bought their way into contention. That's Middleton spending money. That's all that is.
I don't see how a fresh set of eyes could hurt this thing. There's so much staleness. There's so much of the running it back year after year. And the other part is with the succession plan is, like, it's very clear that the succession plan would just be Preston Mattingly moves into the top spot. Like, that's very clearly what they're grooming him to do. So I don't even understand why that would require a plan. It's just like, okay, when one guy leaves, the other guy takes over. Yeah, it's just the moves that he's made that have the most impactful moves Dombrowski's made this season have been getting Derek Hill in season. That's been very helpful. The Jonathan Bolin trade, you traded 1 year of a spent Matt Strahm to get 5 years of Jonathan Bolin. That's great. Those are 2 impactful moves, but those are 2 impactful moves. And they are offset by Keller and Garcia and all of the failed cheap short-term signings before them that have not enabled the Phillies to find an actual everyday outfielder.
Right.
And like, this is a big
yeah.
offseason coming up. They're going to have upwards of $70 million come off their payroll. Like, do we want Dombrowski in charge of that, spending that $70 million?
I don't know about Preston Mattingly. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't really know, I mean, I hear he's a wonderkind, but I don't know. Well, again, I look at the roster like he's a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why he deserves all of a sudden to be, he's going to be crowned emperor.
It was just that when Sam Fuld transitioned to the business role a few years ago, it just became pretty clear at that point. And obviously plans can change, but it seemed like the Phillies were, patching this up for Preston Mattingly to be the young guy who slides into that Dombrowski role that we once thought Sam Fuld would slide into, but not now because he's more so on, like, the business side of the Phillies. But I just agree that, like, you need fresh faces in this clubhouse, and what harm could it do for a fresh set of eyes to come in and evaluate this situation, evaluate what's gone wrong from an outside perspective, and maybe have different ideas
and your internal inner workings. Like, how do you deploy analytics? How do you deploy your base? How are you developing players? What is your teaching like down there? This whole thing needs to be looked at from top to bottom.
That needs to be revamped, obviously. It's just, player development and, like, the turnover of philosophy, that's not something that's going to happen in the course of a year or two. Like, you'd be asking for maybe even some more pain in terms of who you're able to, like, draft and get in and develop and that fits into your system and everything. But I just, like, this has been going on my entire life with the Phillies, that, like, that the so few of their top prospects actually click, because that's another huge part of the season, by the way. Coming into this year, your top 3 young players / prospects were Andrew Painter, Justin Crawford, Aiden Miller. Andrew Painter finally looks like he's figuring things out. He's finally missing some bats with his fastball. Justin Crawford has looked like an average player at best. His ceiling might be Ben Revere. If his ceiling is Ben Revere, is that even a player worth keeping for the next 5 years? And then Aiden Miller. Can
I just tell you one real quick?
Yeah. What?
My least favorite Philly
of all time.
is Ben Revere. I'll tell you a story. It's December, and the Phillies traded for Ben Revere, right? I call Charlie. I go, Ben Revere? Yeah, hey, you want to be a fourth outfielder. You know, he obviously got no pop, slide strikeouts, but he's going to be a fourth outfielder, I guess. Fast forward to February. Skip, well, how come Ben Revere is center fielder? And I don't know. I don't see it. Fast forward to April, right after the first weekend of the series against the Pirates. Easter Sunday. Skip, Anthony, we got a bunch of leprechauns. Can't hit the ball out of the infield, Anthony. Bunch of leprechauns. And Ben Revere was the poster child for that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not trying to be too critical, but the poster child for that now is Garrett Stubbs, because like Garrett Stubbs, it doesn't matter how hard he swings. It's like medium deep left field, medium deep right field. You go back to that 2022 season. How did he hit 5 home runs, Stubbs?
Dude, I don't know. I mean, my Massimo's bigger than Garrett Stubbs.
But with Crawford, though, I mean, I just pulled up Ben Revere's career numbers, and like, you know, his rookie year, Ben Revere, he pretty much did the exact same thing Justin Crawford's doing this year. Then he turned into like a 280-ish, 290-ish low OBP hitter. That might be what Justin Crawford is, and that would be fine if you have enough offensive firepower around him and you bat him.
Why is that good? Like to me, just because he's homegrown doesn't mean the only way I don't trade him is if I think he can develop some power, right? Now, I don't know. Charlie thinks that, and I love him, so like I just brought him up. But Charlie thinks he can get a little more power if he starts hitting under the ball a little bit. I don't know. I'm not sure, but that's the only way I keep him. Otherwise, I have no use for an outfielder that's just a singles guy. Like, not in this yard.
And he's not a great fielder. Like, his metrics fielding-wise, he's a below-average fielder.
Not in this ballpark.
He made a play. He made a play over the weekend against the Blue Jays. I can't remember who hit it, but it was a line drive into the gap in right center field where if you're able to cut the ball off, you hold a double to a single, you prevent the runner from third from scoring. And he just like took a terrible angle and kept running back, and it did split the gap. Guy ends up with an RBI double. Yeah, he's been just like average defensively. Honestly, I do think the likelihood is that is what Justin Crawford is that he's a guy who doesn't develop power, who ends up being like a 275-ish, 280-ish singles hitter. The fact that he's homegrown is why the Phillies have so much faith, so much invested in him, because they know that they need to get some of these young guys to click. But the other part of it too is Aiden Miller has not played a game this season and probably will not play a game this season. There's only about 4 to 6 weeks left in the minor league schedule. He hasn't swung a bat yet. It's not happening this year for him. And if he was on the field and producing Aiden Miller, that would have pushed the Alec Bohm situation. They might have DFA'd Bohm and brought up Aiden Miller to play every day. And if not, at the bare minimum, if Miller produced at AAA, you could pencil him in next year. You wouldn't have had to do all this reconfiguring with Stott and Arise and Harper and Bohm.
But here's the problem, Core, is that injuries happen, man. Like, you got to have plan A, B, and C, right? Because, you know, that's part of it, right? Like, and by the way, you don't know that Aiden Miller, even if he was brought up here, was going to hit, right? Like, you got to have a plan that includes, like, they are all, it feels like they always put all their eggs in one basket, and then they go, I don't know what happened. Like, I'm going to run out of pitching by the end of the year. Well, you know, God forbid there's any tweak to any of these starting pitchers. What are you going to do? They got no starting pitching.
I mean, then it's over. Honestly, then it's over. Like, if one of these guys goes down, and that's also probably why the hook was a little shorter on Sanchez last night, because they know that this is a house of cards waiting to tumble if one of those three guys, because like Luzardo, they don't lose behind Luzardo. Wheeler and Sanchez, we all know the tops. But honestly, like the Phillies' plan, talking about like plan A, plan B, their plan the last few years has been spend, try to spend our way into plugging these holes.
Yeah, when your freaking farm system is as barren as the desert, I mean, that's what happens.
And even those like
either you spend or you don't make the playoffs, and you're going to miss out on all that revenue.
And it also kills you that the guys in that like number 5 through 7, 8 range in your prospect system didn't develop this year either. Like Arun Escobar, second base, third base, has taken big steps back offensively. Dante Nori's been hurt most of the year, has not performed offensively. Even if those guys weren't going to be able to help you, they could have been 2 big-time trade pieces that got you a Casey Mize, for example, if they performed well enough to be dealt. But that didn't happen either. And so now it's just a lot of crossing your fingers, hoping that this team has one last second wind in it throughout mid-August into September. But for an aging bunch, I mean, it remains to be seen.
I feel you. Core, always fun talking ball with you, man. It's a great conversation. We love
Through all the highs and lows. Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate it, cuz.
See you here today. There he is, Corey Seidman with the bro. A little bit later on today. We'll get ready. I think I'm Phillied out now.
We got a couple of super chats. Thomas Burke, 422, $1.99 super chat, but there's nothing in the super chat, so thanks for the $1.99. Thomas Burke, if you want to tell us what you want to say.
Whatever, Thomas, we do. We'll do it.
We had Hersey Hawkins, 33, another $4.99. Hey, guys, I am W.R. Ferguson. I can set up the college fantasy league.
There he is.
He's Hersey Hawkins.
Hersey! WR, my man. Enjoy your conversation, buddy. All right. We got Mike coming up.
Oh, boy.
Why?
Nothing.
Mike's going to be in a good, forget the Phillies for a second. Birds.
Yeah.
We got a game Saturday.
Yes.
It's all starting to fall into place, the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have ups and downs with the new offense. But again, I go back to the same thing, which is that defense is nasty. I mean, the coaches are talking about how good their defense is. Inside, they're having conversations going, damn, this defense is going to be good. That makes me feel good.
Of course. Feels great. And
Right.
Mike was pretty optimistic last week in a piece he did about the Sixers, so we're good.
Yeah, well, we got the schedule comes out tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
All eyes on Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
If I were Mike, I would set up shop for the Rocky book inside the Wells Fargo Center or the X-Mobile Center. I'd say a little kiosk.
Yeah, a little pop-up.
Little
Sielski
pop-up.
pop-up.
Sielski pop-up right there.
I'll drink some beers with him at the pop-up.
Yeah, we still, in fact, I think we're going to be doing some shows down there.
Okay, oh, sweet.
Like we did during the Flyers playoffs.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
At the X-Mobile Arena. So we'll have Mike sell books right there.
Do it.
All right. Mike's coming up, but first a word from our friends.
This Saturday from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., it's the 12-hour sale at Ashley Furniture. For 12 hours only, you can save up to 70% off all Ashley Furniture. Plus, shop now, pay later with no interest financing, and you get free delivery on your purchase. And here's the fun part. Ashley's giving away prizes every hour, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, every hour. So big savings, big giveaways, and one big day to shop. Don't miss the 12-hour sale this Saturday, only at Ashley Furniture. For the past 30 years, Golden Nugget Jewelers has operated out of the very same location in the heart of Philadelphia. Customers from across Pennsylvania, New Jersey, even Baltimore, New York City have come to Golden Nugget Jewelers to find that perfect engagement ring, wedding band, or gift. Their staff is highly trained and dedicated to providing a personalized experience. I've gone there a couple of times. I had to replace a diamond in a ring. I had to get a necklace. They're not pushy. The staff is super informative. It's just a great shopping experience. They have a vast selection of engagement rings and wedding bands, along with high-end watches, fashion jewelry, sparkling diamond necklaces, bracelets, earrings, and everything else you could think of. You receive a final cleaning and written appraisal with every engagement ring purchase. And Golden Nugget Jewelers, they're family-owned. They've been operating since 1987, right there on Chestnut Street at 8th in downtown Philadelphia. You deserve an expert, and you deserve the best price. Golden Nugget Jeweler, where Philly gets engaged. Visit goldennuggetjewelry.com. This Saturday from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., it's the 12-hour sale at Ashley Furniture. For 12 hours only, you can save up to 70% off all Ashley Furniture. Plus, shop now, pay later with no interest financing, and you get free delivery on your purchase. And here's the fun part. Ashley's giving away prizes every hour, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, every hour. So big savings, big giveaways, and one big day to shop. Don't miss the 12-hour sale this Saturday, only at Ashley Furniture.
Sielski, here comes Mike Sielski.
That one dude.
The best picture is you in the hood. Like in the intro.
Like a fisherman in Nova
when you got
Scotia.
the hood on and you're looking sinister. That's a great picture.
I was in Iceland in that picture.
If you're in Iceland, oh, that's
I was.
fantastic. That's a great picture, man.
That was
What do
a
you
great
think of the
vacation
idea?
we took a couple years ago.
What do you think of the idea? We'll do a lot of like pregame stuff down at the X-Mobile Arena, and we could set you up inside the ropes where right at the atrium, right where everybody comes in, and you sell books.
I will sell books anywhere. I will stand, outside with the pretzel and hot dog vendors to sell the books. So yeah, it sounds great.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, that could be a good thing, man. I like it.
That'd be great. I love it.
All right, we got lots to get to. We'll circle back to the Phillies. I can't do any more of them.
I was ready for us to start there, but
I don't want to start there. I don't. I want to start with the Sixers. All right.
Okay.
Because the schedule came out. At least we got a little snippet of it about Christmas Day. Oh, first of all, the opening night of the NBA at the Garden as they raised the banner. This Sixers-Knicks rivalry, because Brunson's already bought into it, this is going to be incredible theater because the Sixers are going to be able to score. The one area where the Knicks are going to give them a little trouble is on the glass because of Hart and OG. I think it could be an awesome rivalry.
What's awesome about it most to me is that they really haven't been rivals for so long, right? When they met in the playoffs a couple of years ago, I remember writing about this. There's a forgotten kick in the ass moment for Philadelphia sports fans. And it's the first round of the 89 playoffs when the Knicks sweep the Sixers and Ewing and Oakley and all those guys bring the brooms out after game 3, because it was best of 5 series, and sweep the floor. And everybody forgets about this because, it's the Sixers and it's the era of the bad boy Pistons and the Jordan Bulls. And
Charles don't forget that.
Charles doesn't forget it, but everybody else kind of does.
Yeah.
And then it kind of came back in 2024 when they met in the first round. And then, of course, the Knicks sweep them last year, going to win the championship. I love this. And I love that Josh Hart is salty that there are other games on the schedule that night, that the Knicks aren't getting the whole thing to themselves. I love the matchup. I love the differences between the two teams. The fact that the Knicks kind of, quickly kind of assembled these guys who had all these ties together, and the Sixers are trying to match them now. Love it. Love everything about it.
Yeah, I got to tell you, the cities are going to when it's Philly, New York, it's it's going to be on. It's going to be incredible. And to have it, play out on Broadway to tip off the season. Again, I go back to it. This is going to be the most fun season probably since 1983 when I was a child and you probably weren't even born.
There's a mural. I was on Twitter a little bit yesterday, and everybody's getting fired up about the new LeBron murals that are going up around the city. And there's one, I think, at 10th and Market or somewhere near Chinatown. I was up in New York a couple of weeks ago, and there's one around the corner from the Garden of Embiid getting dunked on during that series last year. So these two teams in these two cities, these two teams in these two cities are primed for a blood and guts, knockdown, drag out rivalry. And as the kids say, I'm here for it.
Yes, yes. So let me ask you about, because we talk about everybody else, but the big fella. The big fella looks great. You saw the video, the Drew Hanlon video. Yep. He looks really good. So my answer is, you buying? Are you buying Joel stock?
I'll believe it when I see it because that's my natural position about everything. And I think it's fair for people to look at it that way because of all the Ben
Right.
Simmons videos over the years and all the Embiid videos over the years and all the times where it's looked like he's been in great shape. And for one reason or another, whether it's because he gets injured and it's not his fault or he's not in prime physical condition because he didn't do enough, it doesn't work out. I want to believe that having LeBron there and having someone of LeBron's habits and the demands and pressure that LeBron places on teammates to be at their best has already started to push Joel to be at his best. You know, I reported about this last week about, you know, Embiid was a reason LeBron came here. Their experience together in the Olympics. I think the guys on that team looked at Joel's experience there a little bit different than everybody in Philly did. I think the guys on the team, and I was there for it, looked at it like, look, he's giving us what he can give us. And the Olympics really, really matter. Like winning the gold for the U.S. really matters. Here in Philadelphia, it was like, oh, he's not going to be in shape for the Sixers season and he's shirking his duties to the team. And I get that. Like, that's the way we're going to look at stuff here. But in the broader, bigger picture, Olympic gold medal really matters. And it really matters to the guys on that team. And the fact that he was able to play the way he did, as much as he did, that he played the way against Serbia that he did. They don't win that game and get to the gold medal game if he doesn't shut down Jokic and dominate him in the second half of that semifinal game. I think that matters to LeBron.
Yeah.
So are there more reasons to be optimistic about Joel this year? Yeah, there probably are. I still want to see it.
Yes. And listen, I mean, I'm not, this isn't our first rodeo.
Right.
But sometimes when all the focus is elsewhere is when it kind of lends itself to it. Like, if there's ever going to be a year where he delivers, and again, he doesn't have to deliver like the big thing. He just needs to give you his role. And it's a modest role for his ability, right? Like, the idea is like, we saw the few times in the playoffs when he was healthy, he could still score 30 on a given night at any point in 25 minutes.
Right.
He scores 30 and he gets you in foul trouble.
Yeah, I heard Tony Jones from The Athletic on one of the radio stations just this morning talking about this, about how Joel, when the Sixers played the Spurs last year, like chewed up Victor Wembanyama, like could do anything he wanted to against Wembanyama offensively. Now he couldn't move defensively, but Joel's got enough skill offensively to be that low post scorer that this team is probably going to need against certain opponents at certain moments. The big game thing is interesting to me because I think about this. I contrast Joel with Jalen Hurts. Like Hurts justifiably has a reputation as performing incredibly well in big games.
Yeah.
Because he's got two terrific Super Bowls, one genuinely great one, and then another one where he wins the MVP. And he's played very well in the two NFC championship games that he's been in, generally speaking. But there have been other playoff games where he's been god awful. I mean, he was not good against the 49ers last year. He was not good in the first two playoff games when the Eagles won the Super Bowl with him against the Packers and the Rams.
Yeah.
But so the idea that he's always coming up big in big games is not true. He comes up big in the biggest of games, but not every single time. Joel's kind of the opposite of that, right? Joel's had huge playoff performances. He has. He just hasn't had them in game 6 or game 7 against the Celtics in 2023.
I think it's more about availability, right?
Right.
It's even less that he's failed. Like, I don't know. I've never viewed him as a lumper. I've always viewed him as a heartbreaker.
Yeah, the game 4 against Toronto in 2019, I think kind of teeters on that because they had a 2-1 lead. They had a chance to bury that team.
Yeah.
And he had the gastroenteritis or whatever the heck it was.
Yeah.
And they lose that game. Kawhi carries them, and that series flips that game. If there were ever a moment where he needed to be at his absolute best, that game 4 was it, and he wasn't quite there.
No, I agree. I mean, that was early Joe. That was the Shirley Temple, and he was up late that night, and he was immature, whatever. I kind of give that a pass. And to me, it's been more like, I mean, Mike, the guy has broken his orbital bone twice.
I know.
The guy had Bell's palsy.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody breaks your face twice. Like, once, twice.
The most significant contribution that Markelle Fultz ever made, and it was a negative one. It was breaking their best player's face.
Giggle.
I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Like, so
no, you can't.
I'm hoping that, again, when you least expect it, it kind of happens. I'm super impressed with Jaylen Brown, though. Like, the news conference, buttoned up, very intelligent, really head on his shoulders correctly. Worker.
Yeah, I was there last Thursday at the presser. He's a guy I definitely want. I'm looking forward to the opportunity of being around him and talking to him. I talked to a couple of guys who covered him in Boston, and they spoke highly of his honesty. That he's kind of going to be the guy you're going to want to go to if things are going bad. He'll tell it to you straight. So I'm hoping he turns out to be that guy for this team.
He's he's an interesting guy because he's got a good personality, but he's like you said, he does not mince words, which I love about him. And then when you couple him with like the youthful love of Maxey and then the regalness of LeBron, I mean, God, years ago I wrote a story, like a long 5,000 word takeout. I covered the Bulls. I went and I traveled with them. They did like a long road trip, and I went to each of the cities, and I sat, like, I was in the same hotel, and I would like write like how they were coming in the back of the hotel, and how they were like a rock band.
Yeah,
I think this could be the same thing.
Yeah, I'm curious about this. I wrote about this last week because I reread When Nothing Else Matters, the book that Michael Leahy from the Washington Post did about Michael Jordan's 2 years with the Wizards.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that are different about that situation compared to LeBron and Philly, right? The Wizards stunk before Michael came out of retirement, and they stunk with him while he was there. So it's not a perfect analogy. I don't know that there is a perfect analogy for what's happening with LeBron and the Sixers and adding Jaylen Brown and everything this season. But the one thing that I'm a little concerned about is those Wizards teams in Rip Hamilton first and then Jerry Stackhouse had young up-and-coming guys who looked at that team and said, this is our time. This is my time.
Right.
I'm supposed to be on the upswing, and I'm supposed to be more of the centerpiece of this team. And look, we all love Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe, and they are, mature beyond their years and wise for their relative ages, and their games are great. But it's natural for those kinds of guys to be feeling that at this stage of their careers too. VJ had a tremendous rookie season. Tyrese is right now.
Tyrese, yes. Prime. VJ, you're still, he's still young, like second year. Like,
but I also don't want
Draymond Green stuff, right?
Right.
Draymond was talking about that.
Yeah. I also don't want VJ to get lost in this either. I don't want him like finishing. If I'm a Sixers fan, I don't want him finishing every game going, where do I fit into this? Am I just a defensive guy? Am I clearly the fifth of the five? Because, everybody's got a bit of an ego. I'm not saying it's going to go bad. I'm just saying it's something worth watching.
Yeah. No, I get, to me, it's Maxey. Like, and here's the beauty of why I think it will work. You mentioned it. Tyrese has got a great head on his shoulders, and he's that kind of kid. But LeBron really loves him and respects his game, and Jaylen Brown respects his game. So I think Maxey's going to get co-billing because of LeBron and Jaylen Brown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's fair. Look, I worry less about Tyrese handling something like this than I do most other pro athletes, right? Just for all the reasons that you cited. He is who he is. And, he's already shown us, right? 2 years ago, it was he who tells Embiid, right? Like, dude, you got to be here. You can't keep showing up late. So that's nothing but encouraging.
Well, if I have to worry about one, in that vein, I worry more about the big guy than I worry about Maxey and Edgecombe when it comes to the ego. Like,
he's
always had like the it's Tyrese, it's all this other stuff, but in the end, it's this, right? Like,
Yeah, it is. And you wonder, again, I saw that in Paris, the Olympics 2 years ago, and he got a little bit of that because the French fans gave him so much crap. But it was a similar situation. Obviously, no player is going to be surrounded by as much talent as any one of those players on an Olympic team is. But it's similar, and Joel's gonna have to deal with that, and so's Jaylen Brown. You know, Jalen's coming off a season where he took more shots and scored more points than he ever has in his career. You know, he had been a Finals MVP the year before. He's the man. Was the man, and now is going to have to be part of this machine.
Yeah, it's a great point. All right, let's move to Eagles and move to the Birds. First, I'll start with this. Like, your overall thoughts of being down there and kind of like what your own kind of view of this camp is first preseason game Saturday. Where you at with them?
I want to see this offense so badly. I am waiting to be demystified about what this offense is going to be. If they can run the ball, you know, anywhere close, and it doesn't need to be 2024 Saquon again. It just needs to be better than last season.
Yeah.
Then, you know, if I'm the Eagles, I feel a whole lot better about things because then that opens everything up. I don't love the wide receivers after Devontae. I don't. You know, I want to see Darius Cooper do this in games that matter. I read all these tweets and I see it myself, like, oh, he's making contested catches in practice and blah, blah, blah. And again, you and I have been around a while. We've been here for the Paul Turners and the Hank Baskets and the Billy Hesses.
I brought up Paul Turner yesterday.
You know, I need to see it in these games before I start going gaga over Darius Cooper. And I just want to see what this offense looks like. Defense, I'm not worried about. The concern I have about the defense is Jonathan Grenard. Like, it bothers me. I mean, look, Vic Fangio said what he said yesterday. Like, you're not going to see him for a couple of weeks. That doesn't sound great to me. But the defense is deep enough, and Carter and Davis are good enough, and you know, DeJean and Quinyon are good enough that I think
Jalen Hunt's going to be good.
Yeah, it looks like Jalen.
I heard a little kind of conversation between some of the coaches, and they were like, oh, like this defense is going to be nasty. Like when the coaches are saying amongst each other that they're going to be nasty, and they talked about Grenard, like, and wait till Grenard gets back, like they have a chance to be pretty special. Now we'll see. It's always health.
Right. And for all the justified talk in Philadelphia every year about how much Eagles fans love defense and just give us a great defense, I feel like when an offense isn't clicking, that's when everybody gets really nervous. You know, even more than.
Oh God, that's the word. People. You're so right, because you're gonna the link, third possession.
Right.
It's 3rd and 7, incomplete.
Exactly. And like I said, the wide receivers aren't knocking my socks off after Devontae. So that's got me a little concerned. It just like everything else, because like it's a new offense. You know, is it going to start clicking right away? It's, you know, we'll see.
Yeah. Now, I do think going up against that defense in practice will help. I think the fact that there's no, at least early on, that there's no tape on them and this new offense.
I think that's a hugely underrated factor. I do. Like across the NFL, like I would love to sit down. I haven't done this yet, but like take a look at the starts that teams get off to when they have a new play caller. Like you saw it in Miami when Mike McDaniel went there initially. It was like, whoa, this is the most souped up offense we've ever seen. And over the years, you always see that where it takes 5, 6, sometimes 10 or more weeks for opponents to get enough film to pick up on tendencies and, oh, well, here's what we need to do to stop it. You know, Chip Kelly, obviously, right? So
was there a better debut than that first night, Monday night in Washington?
It was like nothing we've ever seen before.
I mean, I felt like I was watching Madden video game.
It was like there were no Washington defenders on the field. It was nuts. But yeah, so that's an advantage, and we'll see how. I think it should be an advantage. We'll see how long they can ride it, but you know, I want to see what it looks like.
Yeah, no, and listen, like it could go like this and then go down, and then the point's going to be where does it level off? And you know, again, the receivers worry me too because the kid. Rookie wideouts, man, they're not a given. Sometimes there's a curve, and I think the kid's a baller, right? But I did watch, like, I've watched his games. I'm a big college guy, as you know, and that Notre Dame game, I saw the film on him. Like, I broke him down before the draft, and he got locked up by press man. So you're going to have to put, it's why he's going to be a lot in the slot, and you're going to have to put him in motion because on the outside, he'll get locked up in NFL coverage.
Yeah, he doesn't have the thing that I kind of want to see initially and like to see initially from wide receivers. I'm not saying that a guy like a Mekhi Lemon or a Julian Edelman, or Amon-Ra St. Brown can't live in the slot and be shifty and all of those things. But you can see the difference without AJ out there. You see what a physical specimen, and remember what it was like watching guys try to cover AJ.
Yeah.
And, you just put it anywhere near him and he's going to go get it and he's going to outmuscle the cornerback to get it. They don't have anybody like that. Devontae can do it. Devontae's hands are so big and his routes are so pristine. He's remarkable to me, but you don't see that with anybody else. And that's the big difference.
Yeah, no, that's right. Hurts. So it's interesting. It's funny. His demeanor is different, right? He's way more open to this offense. I hear he's been really good, different with his teammates, more open, more affable. And I don't know, maybe the fact that AJ is gone, it gave him some breath, right? Like maybe it gave him some ease. Because it is. Listen, if there's someone that's around you all the time that you may work with or whatever, that creates a pall. And when that person's gone, all of a sudden there's an ease. Now, I don't know what that's going to translate to, but the fact that he's this open and this kind of different, I think is a good thing.
Yeah, I wonder how much of that too is the trust that comes with changing an offense to the degree that they did, right? That you can almost get to a point if you're someone in Jalen's position where it's like, well, you keep giving me the same thing. And I know, I like it and you think it's what I'm good at, but I want to be challenged and I want to be pushed. And that's what's happening, right? He's got to learn Mannion's offense, and it's completely different from what Patullo and Kellen Moore and Brian Johnson and Shane Steichen had been doing. It's a complete deviation from all of that. And maybe he relishes like, oh, okay, all right, y'all finally think I can do this. Good, I can do this. I've always thought I could do this. Maybe he felt like he was, what was this comment? Remember, like you took the shackles off or whatever it was. So maybe he feels that way too. I don't know. I haven't asked him about this. No, it's all speculation, but I've seen that from him too. He does seem like just lighter.
Yeah.
Good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I think it's a good thing. All right. What are you going to do with this baseball team?
Fire it into the sun. I mean, they are what they are, man. They are what they are.
What are they?
They are a team that has to have its two big boppers swinging the bat. It just has to. I don't know any other way to say it. It's a top heavy team that has to have its two power hitters going well. It has to have its three primary starters going 7 to 8 innings, and it has to get to its closer. And what else are we talking about here? I have this theory, guys. I want to run this past you. I was thinking about this, thinking about writing about it, wanted to run it past you guys. Maybe the big mistake that the Phillies made and that Dave Dombrowski made was not anticipating the rule changes to baseball. Dombrowski built this team the year before, heading into a year when everybody, the banning of shifts hadn't taken place.
Right.
And the sport was just poised to change, where putting the ball in play and playing a little bit more old school baseball was where the sport was going to try to head. And the Phillies even talked about this, about getting more athletic defensively. And that was part of the reason they went after Turner at shortstop. But the bottom line is, Dombrowski built a team to win in 2019 baseball, hit the ball over everybody's heads and strike out if you have to strike out, but we'll just hit a lot of home runs. when the sport actually shifted. And what you needed was more guys who could put the ball in play and more team speed and more team athleticism and these other factors that this team really doesn't seem to do very well.
So it's an interesting theory, and I think you should write about it and explore it because I would love to read it. My only pushback is, are they really a team that hits the ball over people's heads? They have two guys that can do that.
Right. No, it's a good point.
You know,
I think there's a difference between what they wanted to build and what they ended up building.
Right.
Right. Like Alec Bohm he doesn't hit the ball over the first baseman's head, let alone anybody. He did hit the one ball last night that the guy made the great play on. But, I think they thought Alec Bohm would develop into a 25 to 30 home run guy.
They thought Casty would be a 25, 30 home run guy.
Castellanos would be 25 to 30, if not more than that. They had Rhys Hoskins until he tore his knee up and they decided they didn't need a right-handed power bat anymore.
Yeah. Like those factors, the Hoskins, the Castellanos, you're right. Like that could be part of it. And they all just, everything kind of failed. My issue with Castellanos was he had his career high in Cincinnati, which is the #1 home run ballpark. Right? It's a bandbox, right? Like, so you look at the guy when he was the Tigers, he was the doubles guy, right? Like, so you spent a lot of money, man. You spent $100 million on that right-handed bat, man. Like, that was a big miss.
See, that Castellanos to me is the consummate example of a Philadelphia organization not taking the Philadelphia market and playing in this market into consideration when going after a guy. Yeah. Castellanos played, as you said, for the Reds, for the Tigers, the Cubs. Like, I know the Cubs are a multi-billion-dollar franchise. You don't have the pressure of playing for the Chicago Cubs that you do for the Phillies, the Yankees, the Red Sox, even the Dodgers.
Right.
And he came here, and for all his kind of surliness and like speaking his mind, like, he clearly had stuff weigh on him while he was here.
Yeah.
And you can't have that. You cannot have a guy, you can't sign Trey Turner for $300 million and then discover when he's here that he squeezes the bat tight and thinks about it whenever a ground ball is hit to him at shortstop. You can't have that kind of guy playing Philly.
No. Yeah, it's a great point. They never take that into account. Like, I mean, you look at how many guys throwing their bats and tizzies and like I'm looking at my kids do that stuff at 13 years old. They throwing their bats and their gloves.
Dude, this market, by the time Game 5 of the 2011 NLDS rolled around, the atmosphere here had gotten to a team that had Chase Utley and Jimmy Rollins and Ryan Howard and had been through the wars.
Yeah.
And for that Game 5 against Chris Carpenter, you could feel it in that building.
Yes.
That there was this tension. Never mind the kind of guys they have now.
I know.
So you got to prepare for that. You've got to build a team around that atmosphere here because it's different for baseball even than for football or hockey or basketball because these guys spend so much time in their own heads, standing in the field, standing in the on-deck circle, sitting in the dugout. They are
the mental anguish. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, last thing on them. Did your buddy who hates the lineup like I do, did he text you after last night like, if Schwarber was batting fourth last night, you don't have to run for him when he walks, and maybe Arise gets on, and he's not hitting to a double play and catches the Phillies flu because he's a guy that hits the ball on the ground.
The Phillies flu, I love that. I actually talked about this on Saturday with Rob Ellis. I've been thinking about that, and I wonder if I'm rethinking my position because I wonder if it's better to break up the strikeouts at the top of the lineup with Arise, like bat him second, so that you don't have.
Well, you
Turner,
can't hit all the
Harper,
lefties, so you got to bat him leadoff because you need Turner. See, the problem is Turner's got to break up the lefties.
I guess I hate I hate Turner, Harper, Schwarber in a row. I hate it because I think on the wrong, there are too many days where a pitcher can just cut through them and strike them all out. Boom, boom, boom. And I want to break that up. I want somebody in between them who puts the ball in play.
I get it. If you got a right hand, the problem is like in the playoffs, everybody's got a decent left-handed reliever, so you
Right.
expose
Yeah.
yourself to that.
That's fair.
You know, my brother.
Hard
Anything
questions,
new?
man.
Anything new? In your world?
No, not really. I'm working on this Cheltenham hazing stuff. This story fascinates me and really bothers me.
Yeah.
About what's going on there. And yeah, that's about it. You know, waiting on pub day in November on the Rocky book, and that's pretty much it.
I love it. Well, we love you, buddy. All right, best to the
All right,
family.
fellas, thanks.
Thanks,
You got
pal.
it. Right
Talk to
back at
next
you
week.
guys.
The great Mike Sielski. Speaking of football and high school football,
Yeah.
did you hear about that kid who is in Arkansas?
Oh, it's a nug.
Oh, you have it? Oh, I don't want to spoil it. Man, that's
the animal.
yes, inside the helmet. Craziness. All right, let's take a quick TO. St. Francis is here.
Might have to change up his music. We might have to do like holy music. Like,
I think
ethereal music.
So here's my thing: is next week I'm going to be out, and then I think we should go out, all of us, and rethink the show, get some beers, and I always like to do a fall reboot.
We should do it soon. I'm out the week. I'm out the week after you're out.
All right. Well, we got to do a fall reboot. All right. First, let's talk about our friends, shall we? The Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app, Phillies day game. All right, here's the deal. They're going to win today, and they're going to put up runs today. And Wheeler will at least strike out 7 today. What is his strikeout prop? What are the Phillies today?
Strikeout props 5.5. It's minus 159.
All right.
I go over 6.5.
All right. I'll even take the 6Ks. I think he goes 7.
Phillies are minus 167. Over under is 8.
I'm going to take a Schwarber bomb today.
What do you think about total runs by Phillies? Over under 4.5.
Over. They're going to score today. They're going to hit home runs today.
All right.
So there you go. Over Wheeler, Phillies, and over runs. There's your parlay. All right.
Schwarber's plus 310 if you think he's hitting one.
I think he hits one. Check it out. BetParks.com has all the details on how you get involved. Football season. Everything's here. BetParks.com. Got to be 21 in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland, Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You know that moment, the one you realize you left your favorite sunglasses at the beach, on the roof of your car, at a gas station 3 states away. Well, I've been there too because I left a pair of really nice sunglasses at a hotel in Toronto, and I was screwed. And then I was hesitant. Did I want to buy nice sunglasses like Shady Rays? And then when I did buy them, I'm afraid to wear them. Shady Rays changes everything. They've changed the game because these sunglasses are made for real life, seriously good looking, polarized, durable, not stupidly expensive. And here's the wild part. If you lose them, break them, day one, Shady Rays will send you a brand new pair. No guilt trip, just replacements. So now I actually wear my sunglasses everywhere without fear. Concerts, mosh pits, on hikes, traveling through the city, on a boat, wherever, because Shady Rays is the eyewear that has your back. So go to shadyrays.com and use the code PHLYSR for 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses.
They do not crave food nor drink for nourishment, for they exist solely on the glow of the all-22 monitors. They are the Leatherheads, and he is Franny Films.
On the clock with St. Francis of Football, brought to us by Ashley, our great friends at Ashley Furniture. Good morning, St. Francis.
What's going on, guys? How's everything this morning?
Right.
All right, listen. I saw that dish you made. It looked fabulous.
Oh, he's cooking?
Oh, he's a good cook.
Where'd you see it? Instagram?
No, he texted me the picture of it.
Oh.
Pasta done especially well with the homegrown Calabrian chilies. I got to tell you, it looked like a dish right out of Reggio Calabria.
They passed the test. We were wondering how are they going to come in. It's the first time I've grown them out back. They passed the test. So I threw them on. I even threw on some salmon last night just to kind of spice that up. Yeah, I'm going to keep using those things.
Do me a favor. You hook up your boy with a few. All right. Yeah, I appreciate it because I can't wait to taste those calabria chilies.
Yeah, you got it.
Homegrown. You got skills. You got culinary skills.
We'll see. We'll see.
No, I see your dishes, man. You do a good job.
I appreciate that.
You know, listen, I love to cook too, so I appreciate it, man. It's
definitely a side passion.
Yes. Listen, it goes with, the 3 F's that we love.
That's right.
Football, family, food. That's our life. Perfect.
That's exactly right. And we're at that time.
That's right, baby. All right. Here's what we're going to cover. We'll cover your camp observations and what Franny has seen so far. We will cover what you're going to be looking at Saturday night. We will take a quick TO, and then we will go over your breakout players in the league. So that's the schedule.
Good plan.
Let's start off with Franny's observations.
Yeah, for me, I mean, you got to start with the guy that it was a big topic of conversation last year. We know that the run game really just wasn't to the level that they needed it in order to kind of keep everything else afloat, right? And there was questions about, like Saquon Barkley coming off the Super Bowl run. Has he lost a step? He looks awesome this summer. And look, it's always a grain of salt when you're talking about training camp practice and you're not tackling to the ground. This guy's got all the juice that we saw from him in the past. He is an extremely passionate practice player, and I think that comes through anytime you watch him. He was my player of the day on the show on Saturday. He very easily could have been my player of the day yesterday. We know that this is an offense and a coach where they want to be able to run the football because that's what kind of makes everything else go. You're keeping defenses honest and the use of play action and all this, that, and the other. They are leaning into this identity shift philosophically with all the under center and the variety in the run game. And we know like Saquon Barkley is going to be the engine for that. So for me, one of my big takeaways over this week has been number 26. He looks the part. If you were worried that he has lost a step, I do not think that is the case.
Look at that. I heard the same thing, man. It's funny. I love that's one of your observations because my people down there told me, dude, he looks like he's 5 years younger. He's got a lot of bursts, fresh legs.
Coming off a 2,000-yard season, that make you a little sluggish the following year. So he's good now.
Well, I think the O-line made him sluggish.
The O-line was a big thing.
Yeah, that definitely has something to do with it.
And we'll get on that. We'll get to that in a little bit. But I do think the offensive line will be better than it was a year ago, just from a health standpoint. So, obviously knock on wood on that one. But Saquon looks the part.
All right. What else you got? Observation number 2.
Yeah, number 2. I would say if you had concerns, like defensively, this is going to be a really good group, but you lose Reed Blankenship, you got Bakuba coming off injury. Is Marcus Epps good enough? You got a day 3 rookie. To me, the safety position looks. I don't know that these guys, they're not going to be Pro Bowlers, but it looks fine. To me, the biggest storyline defensively is that you've got a couple more young guys, and we know the blue chippers are getting paid now, right? We've seen Jaylen and Jordan Davis, and we know that the corners are getting paid. The 2 guys that are going to ascend, like arrow pointing up, you look at Jalix Hunt, who was my player of the day for practice yesterday, and then Jihaad Campbell, who also could have been really any day over the last week. Jihaad looks awesome. When you're talking about the combination of him and Zach Bond, I think you feel pretty good about saying that's probably the best linebacking pair in the NFL right now. If we expect Jihaad Campbell to continue to show what he's shown in practice with what we've seen, if he takes that to the games, he's looked impressive here this summer.
Oh man, that's nice.
He's not even met in Trot Jr. because I read he had a nice day yesterday too.
Yeah, to me, like as a third linebacker, I feel good about where Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is at. And, I know Vic Fangio said recently this is the best that he has looked. I do think, there's a difference between he and Jihaad Campbell from a physical standpoint, but I like what I've seen from Trot Jr. as well. So, and, if there's an injury, I feel good about his ability to kind of step in and be a stabilizing force there.
So weird having linebackers here.
I love Jihaad. I think Jihaad's going to have a monster year. I'm excited.
And what's weird about it too, VG, to your point, is that when you go down the depth chart, and we'll go into some of these guys that I'm looking forward to seeing in the preseason, they've got like a bunch of guys on the bottom end of the depth chart where it's like, man, if any of those guys were here 4, 5, 6 years ago, we'd be saying like, oh, I love like Chance Campbell to start, right? You know, but now they're all kind of like fighting for one spot at the bottom of the depth chart. It's I don't want to say embarrassment of riches, that might be a little strong, but a lot of intriguing talent in the depth chart there at linebacker.
Let's go.
Let's go. With you.
Observation number 3.
Number 3. I've got 5. So number 3 here. Darius Cooper. Darius Cooper looks like he's going to be a player. And I think now, you know, I'm like shelving expectation. I don't want to go like too crazy here, but he belongs in the NFL. This is a guy who is an NFL caliber receiver. Jalen Hurts has shown a lot of faith in him. It feels like every day those two connect at different levels of the field, whether it's out by the sideline, work in the middle. He's done a really good job. He practices hard. He's got the ability to create after the catch. We've seen him make plays down the field. I like what I've seen from Darius Cooper. To me, the question becomes, is this a guy that can ascend to be a number 2? Do you feel better about him as a number 3? You know, what caliber of player is he? But there's no question that he is an NFL caliber type of player. So I think him cementing himself as like kind of a fixture of this passing game is one of the bigger revelations of camp.
I like that. And it's funny, I got the same vibe. I have the anti-Paul Turner vibe. Like Paul Turner, you knew was what he was, a preseason guy. I felt differently about Cooper. Just the way he moves, where his hands are. I love that you have that observation.
Yeah, and honestly, like as big of a signal as any is the fact that Jaylen continues to go to him in practice. Like Jaylen shows a lot of faith in him. I know he was asked about him yesterday in his press conference after practice, and it was asked like basically like what's the ceiling for Darius Cooper, and Jaylen responded, was like he's already pretty good. So I think that Jalen's got faith in number 80, and I do think that's important here moving into the fall.
All right. Observation number 4.
You know, we talked about the offensive line, and obviously a big part of that, you know, you go back to last year, you're missing Lane Johnson for a big chunk. You hope that he stays healthy here in what is likely to be his final season. Jordan Mailata, like there hasn't really been any talk at all about some of the injuries that he was dealing with last fall. I think you feel good about his health moving forward. Really the 2 big names, obviously, are Cam Jurgens at center and Landon Dickerson at left guard. I think Cam looks to be what he was previously. Like he's a number of times over the course of the summer, I've noticed him like leading out in front, used as a puller, you know, releasing in the screen game, all those things. Like they didn't do, and they took all that stuff and threw it out last year. They could not get him on the move. So I think that Jurgens, he looks like himself. I think Landon, that's the one where I'm like, I don't know. And just knowing like in the past when you've had players like this where you're kind of like when you're going through the summer, you're almost like putting him on ice. Like we got to get him to the fall. Let's just get him to week 1, and then we're just going to kind of get him through the season. I think that's kind of where they're at with Landon. We've seen him rotate often with Drew Kendall, which is important. And I think that the depth along the interior is notable this year, and we'll talk about that soon. But I think that when you're looking at Landon Dickerson, I do think that he's got the like he can play right now. I don't think he'd be a complete liability, but I would not expect like, you know, Pro Bowl level, all pro level left guard play next to Jordan Mailata, like what we saw a couple of years ago.
Gotcha. Yeah. I think, well, we're 4 for 4, you and I. Observation number 5.
We are reaching the point in the summer where the guys that are injured, I think you kind of have to say like, all right, what's the status for week 1? Right.
Yes.
Jonathan Grenard, we have not seen at all. I don't know. To me, like, I think as we're sitting here right now on August 12th, we haven't seen him like doing any rehab stuff on the side, like nothing. So to me, I would think like week 1, week 2 is probably in question right now, right? And that's not from anything in the team. I'm just going off my eyes. Typically, if a guy is starting to gear back up, then you feel, all right, like we're going to be ready here in a couple weeks. But we're not that far off from week 1. And, you know, Vic Fangio said it very early in camp, was like, yeah, like he's going to be asked to do different things in this scheme than what he's done before. So I want to be able to get him and kind of get our hands on him.
Although this scheme, I think, fits him more. It fits him better than Flores' scheme. I mean, I was told that by,
Vic Fangio is the type of coach where it's like, I think he wants to see it before he believes it kind of deal. And so him not getting out there at all, like not even sniffing yet, I think that brings week 1 into doubt. I would say the same thing about Mekhi Lemon.
Lemon worries me more than anybody.
Yeah, like I don't know what we're getting out of Mekhi Lemon early on this season. It does feel like Devontae Smith is starting to go through a little bit more, pre-practice rehab and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so to me, he's the one that's moving in the right direction where I'm not as worried about him for week 1. But the other two, I would say I don't know if we're looking at that for week 1, week 2.
I agree. All right, let's do this. We're going to take a quick TO. We're going to come back. We're going to look at what Franny will be watching Saturday night. And then you got to make sure you get a pen, take notes. The 10 bust-out players across the league, thanks to Franny Films. First, a word from our friends.
If you're looking for the perfect way to cool off this summer, you've got to check out Rita's. They've got a brand new Shirley Temple Italian Ice, and it tastes just like the classic drink you grew up with. It's like one of my favorite drinks ever, and this flavor kills it. So you want to take it to the next level? You can add the Shirley Sparkle topping for a little extra fun. And while you're there, grab a limited edition Shirley Temple cup. You can snap a photo, post it on social media, and you can win free Ritas for an entire year. But don't wait, this flavor is only around for a limited time. And of course, Rita's is about way more than one great flavor. They're Italian ice, made fresh daily with real fruit. I love the pineapple chunks in their pineapple. Their frozen custard's unbelievably creamy, and if you've never had a gelati, that's layers of Italian ice and frozen custard together, well, you're really missing out. Before you head over, download the Rita's app to find your nearest location, order ahead, and if you're a new app user, you even get a free small treat just for signing up. With so many flavors to mix and match, the combinations are just endless, so treat yourself to a scoop of happiness this summer. Rita's, ice, custard, happiness. Be cool. Go to Rita's. Let's talk about Ace Hardware Home Services. They're so important this time of year. Heat and humidity sneaking in. The AC might not be cranking like it should. And temperatures are changing. It's getting warmer, so don't worry. If you got issues, Ace Hardware Home Services, they got you covered. From AC repairs to water heaters, plumbing, electrical, they're trusted pros that bring the same helpful service from the Ace stores right to your home, right to your front door, from Philly to the Jersey Shore. And it's important. They got the right people. They bring the right tools, the right know-how. They got everything you need. So whether it's a quick fix or a big summer project, they've got all the tools. They've got the know-how. Then the people to get the job done right. You see their trucks all around town. All your neighbors are using them. Ace Hardware Home Services, they're bringing the helpful to your home. It's that helpful you love from the store right to your home. So visit acehardwarehomeservices.com today to get started on your next home repair project.
All right, back live with our man St. Francis of football. So we got a game. Preseason action, full slate, man. Tomorrow night, everybody's around. And then Eagles, Ravens. We know the starters won't play. But what's Franny Films and St. Francis going to be watching?
So I've got 5 guys. We'll say 5 topics that I'm interested to track here over the course of the preseason, and I'll start with number 5. For me, we talked about Darius Cooper. I think coming into camp, I was interested in kind of like Cooper and Johnny Wilson, right? And Cooper obviously has cemented himself on this roster, but I want to see all right, Johnny Wilson, can he give you anything? Coming off the knee injury from last year, he talked the other day and it said yeah, that's the first time I've ever really been injured in my life. So just kind of like learning, fighting through that adversity. I would say he hasn't really flashed in camp as a receiver. But here's the thing. To me, in this offense, his value is not as a receiver. His value comes
as a blocker.
Yeah. And when you look at a lot of the iterations of this offense, it's not in every single year with every single one of these coaches, but you look at the McVay and Shanahan type of trees, a lot of them will have down the depth chart like that big, 6'3", 6'4", 6'5" receiver that has that ability to act as a quasi tight end for them in some of those packages. And so, you think of Ben Skoranek, you think of last year in Seattle, Jake Bobo, you have some of these big body guys that can be that dirty work player. Can Johnny Wilson be that for this offense? To me, he'll have to show it in games. We see it in practice, but can he do that and kind of cement a spot for himself on the 53? I would say that's one that I'll be interested in looking at here over the course of the first couple weeks of the preseason.
Problem is, you have space for him. You got room for him, especially with Lemon and Flux early.
Well, and it'll be fascinating because if so let's say Lemon can't go, you think you're going to get him back, by week 3, right? I'm just making stuff up. So let's say you think you're going to get him back by week 3, full go, and you want him to be able to practice. So you're not going to put him on an IR to start the season. I think Wilson makes it. Maybe Elijah Moore goes to the practice squad. You call up Elijah Moore to kind of play the Mekhi Lemon role early on, and you kind of can start to play those kinds of games. But him and Hollywood Brown. But then also, like, how does the tight end performance? How does that impact Johnny Wilson?
Yeah.
So that there's layers to the Johnny Wilson conversation.
Yeah, the tight end piece is a big time.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. Oh, good. All right. Number 2.
All right, let's go. Number 4.
Well, number 4.
It's the first game for Uar Bernard and Joshua Weru. Now we'll see how much we see of these guys for multiple reasons, right? I think that and Vic Fangio has been very quick to kind of like pour cold water on, like, hey, don't expect a lot from these guys early on. Here's what I'll say. Bo, EJ, and I talked through, to me, what was like one of my favorite moments in camp so far yesterday, and I know we put it out on our social channels as well, where Uar Bernard in one-on-ones had like his first, like, it was like a light bulb moment where he just drove the offensive lineman back into the pocket and he got excited, but then like Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, they're all hyped for him, and it was just like, man, like you kind of you felt some feelings there. You're watching that, right? You see like the guy like gaining confidence and seeing that. So I'm excited to see, all right, if Uar plays, what does he look like? But man, like Josh Weru, I said it last week that he reminds me of Jalex's rookie year. Like when you look at like the physical tools, like he is long, he is athletic. Like Uar, he has never played before. So what does he look like in the structure of this scheme? I don't know how much these guys are going to play, but I mean, honestly, when I'm looking around at bodies, they should get some time. So I'm excited to see what those guys look like.
Yeah. All right, number 3.
Number 3, we talked about the linebackers at the top. There's a few guys fighting for a spot here at the bottom. And really, to me, it's like a 3-horse race. I'm really intrigued by undrafted free agent rookie Deontay Lawson. Comes from Alabama, a former 5-star recruit. A lot of high hopes for him early on in his career. Then he gets hurt. He had a couple knee injuries. It was a season ender at the end of the 2024 season. So he goes undrafted. He's starting to come on a little bit in practice, in game, in scrimmage periods, in team periods, coming downhill in the run game. I've said that he kind of reminds me like from a physical standpoint, like skill set standpoint, and just kind of paint the picture for Eagles fans. Like he looks like Nigel Bradham. Like he's that kind of like physically imposing guy.
That's good comp. I see it. That's good comp.
I'm interested to see Deontay Lawson here. Now, like I said, there are a couple other guys down there at the bottom of the depth chart. I think Chance Campbell, this is a player that Vic Fangio shouted out last week at his press conference. Campbell, now, he got hurt in practice a couple days ago, so he's missed the last couple days. Can he get healthy enough to play in these games? And because he's a big body who's athletic, he makes more of an impact on special teams. So I'm interested to see what does Campbell look like if he's able to get in there. And then you have Smile Munden, who was a draft pick last year, who flashed in camp. I would say that Lawson has popped more in practice and Campbell has popped more in practice than Smile has. So if I'm looking at that as a 3-man race for maybe one spot, that's an interesting battle to kind of watch here through the preseason.
I like Lawson. I liked him at Bama, and then he got hurt. I like guys like that. I think he's got a lot of ability, man. He does. That's to me, like, he's been one of the guys that I found myself writing his number down. It's a rough number. He's number 47. I've been finding myself writing his number down more in my notebook as camp has gone on. All right, number 2.
Signs of life from Eli Stowers. And to me, it's kind of twofold, right? You'd love for him to lean into his strength, show some game-breaking ability as a matchup guy in the pass game, right? That said, I think for me, the bigger thing is, can you show anything from a blocking standpoint, like the 1-2, the ability where if we put you out there in 12 personnel, 13 personnel, you are not a complete liability and a telltale sign for the defense that it is a pass, right? Or just like, hey, like green light, we are going to run through you at the point of attack. In periods in practice, they don't even put him in those spots. Like EJ Jenkins, Stone Smart, Grant Calcaterra, all those guys are going in before Stowers in any opportunity. 1s, 2s, whole deal. Stowers is getting more reps with the 2s in the last week or so, but he's still, like, to me, like at the bottom of that stack. So he's obviously not getting cut, right? So what can he show in these games to give coaches faith that we can make you active on game day?
Right.
Honestly, like, I don't know that he's in a spot where they can make him active right now, based off what we've seen in practice.
Nope.
It's early, but that's kind of what we've seen.
Yeah, that's my fear. That's my fear. And then number 1.
It's my guy. I'm really, really excited to say that he's been one of like the buzzy stories, like bottom of the depth chart players in camp. Willie Lampkin, who they picked up off waivers.
I was hoping you'd say that. My short king. Let's go.
On, that's my guy. And so they picked him up off waivers from the Rams at the end of last preseason. And, he was injured, so we didn't see him at all last year. Extremely undersized. Like, it does not look like an offensive lineman, right? That said, they put him in at guard, they put him in at center, and he performs well. And it's not just like this like novelty thing where it's like, oh, like Fran liked him in college. Like he's drawing praise from teammates, he's drawing praise from coaches. Landon Dickerson called him their secret weapon yesterday. Nick Sirianni says like, yeah, every day like we're watching, and it's like, oh, Willie did it again, Willie did it again, Willie did it again. I was talking with one of the offensive linemen the other day, and he said like, yeah, we have like a high effort tape every single day from practice, and Willie's on that every single day. You hear the defensive linemen talk about him. You hear the offensive linemen talk about him. I'm excited to see Willie Lampkin here in the preseason. That's going to be fun.
How's he doing it? Is this just low center of gravity and the leverage he generates?
He's extremely strong for that size. I remember going to the Senior Bowl, and I remember it was my first Senior Bowl, here with PHLY, and I remember being down there, and I was sitting in the stands, and the weigh-in numbers come in, and I see like, oh, like it was a late addition to the Senior Bowl. I hadn't done his tape yet, but it's like, oh, an offensive lineman from North Carolina who's 5'11", and it was like 268 pounds, and I was like, that's got to be a typo. Like that's got to be 360.
Right.
That can't be right. And I see him walk out, and I'm like, what in the world am I about to watch? And I remember just going through the film every day at practice. I'm like, yeah, like he held up pretty well. And then studying him on tape. And it was very reminiscent of how Nick Sirianni described it. It was like, oh, like Willie did it again. Willie did it again. And I'm watching him against Florida State and Miami and NC State and all these schools and Clemson. And you're like, he's pretty good. He held up. It's such an outlier, like from a size standpoint.
And he ain't 5'11" either.
Yeah, that's what it's 5'11" on a good day in cleats. He's smaller than Jason Kelsey, but like, man, he's a really fun study on tape, like from college.
Yeah,
I just want to see. I obviously I'm not watching practice tape, so this is my first. Now I'm excited when we get to this weekend to be able to watch him on tape in an Eagles uniform.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's classic.
Great story.
All right, this brings us to the league-wide stuff. All right, so I'm curious. Your top 10 breakout players to watch across the league. I'm going to write them down. I'm going to see if they match up. I can't wait to hear this. Let's start at the bottom, number 10.
All right, so here's how I did this. Just because you gave me a heads up, so I was like, all right, I'll try and do a player from each division, and then when I get to the NFC East, I'll do a couple guys from the East. So that's why I thought good. So starting in the AFC East, I'm going to go with Bills safety Cole Bishop. A third-year guy out of Utah, was a second-round pick a couple years ago. It was a bit of a rough go early as a rookie playing there in Sean McDermott's defense. I thought he came on, kind of buzzing through some of the tape with them in the second half of last year. So it's a new defensive scheme and all that, but I really like what their new defensive coordinator has done over the course of his time in college. I really enjoyed watching Leonard's defenses in Wisconsin. So I'm excited to see what he does here with a guy like Cole Bishop. So that would be a name that I think could have like the arrow pointing up, and maybe he kind of raises into that next echelon of player here for the Bills.
I love it. All right.
Next one, I'm going to go with the AFC North. Let's go to the Cincinnati Bengals. And this is a guy that was a first-round pick, but it's for a unit and a team where it's usually like, that's one of the worst in football. The Cincinnati Bengals offensive line.
Yep.
Marius Mims is the real deal. Out of Georgia, was only a one-year starter, was a physical freak, outstanding size, athleticism. He has really started to come along, and that offensive line is no longer like a laughingstock group. I think it's a solid group overall, and Mims is the best player on that front. So Marius Mims, I think the Bengals are going to be better this year. They're going to be healthier. I think that's a name to know as like one of the better young tackles in football.
I love it. All right, we are in overtime. OT in the city. Overtime with St. Francis. All right, let's go to the AFC South.
This one is just one because it's like he's completely out of mind right now. And that's the number 2 pick in the draft last year. As a receiver, dual threat, plays both ways.
Yes.
No one's talking about Travis Hunter.
No.
And obviously, I think part of it is the market. It's Jacksonville. The fact that it looks like this year it is going to be, and this was my hope for him coming out. I said from he can play receiver, he can play both ways, but this guy's got the ability to be a lights out corner.
He's got to be a corner. That's it.
Yeah, and now that's the move. Is it looks like he's going to be like maybe they'll sprinkle him in every once in a while offensively, but he is going to be a full-time corner
in this league. I agree with you.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see him there, and I think he could be. We'll be talking about him as like one of the best corners in football if that's going to be his sole focus this year.
That's such a great answer. It's why you're elite.
That's why he's the saint.
That's why you're elite. All right, AFC West.
This is another first-round pick, but he was hurt last year for a good chunk of the season, and I do think that because of the new system being installed out west in LA, with Mike McDaniel coming in, Omarion Hampton is a guy I think could go to the moon this year from a production standpoint, and the flashes we saw of him healthy last year. The Eagles played the Chargers, so I went through a decent amount of Chargers tape, especially from early in the season, and I thought he had some really good moments. So Omarion Hampton is a name I think again could rise up into that top 10 backs in football. He's square in that conversation.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like Hampton a lot. All right, let's go NFC West.
NFC West, this was one of my favorite players in the draft last year, and another guy who's just a good player on a bad team. That Arizona Cardinals defense they put so many assets into that group, and they just have not been able to hit, and injury has been a big part of that. This guy had outstanding flashes last year, but was fighting injury early and then fought injury late. Walter Nolan, the defensive tackle who ended up going before
Florida.
the Eagles could take him. To me, Walter Nolan has outstanding ability to be one of the elites at the position. And if he's healthy for a full 16 this year, or full 17 this year, I think that he could rise to be like a top 5, top 7 type defensive tackle in football.
I agree. I loved him in college. NFC South.
NFC South, I think the Falcons are a team that everyone's kind of pointing to as that's going to probably be one of the league's worst, in terms of, what the expectations are. They lose one of their best defensive players early in camp, and Jalen Walker, he tears his ACL. What are we going to get from that front? There's a guy that plays for them who was a mid-round pick a couple years ago out of Oregon, Brandon Dorlus, who's kind of I think I actually compared him in ways to a poor man's Milton Williams when he was coming out. Where he's got that hybrid DN, D tackle skill set, and the arrow was pointing up on him at the end of last season, and now he's in his second year in that system because they kept Jeff Ulbrich as the defensive coordinator. I think that Dorlus is a guy that I think will be more on the national radar by the time we get to the end of this season. So he would be a name to kind of circle as I think a lot of our viewers are probably like, who the hell's Brandon Dorlus? That's a name that I think more people will be familiar with by season.
I like that. I did not have him on my radar, so that's a great one. NFC North.
Look, the Packers, a ton of turnover, right? Both on the field and off the field. They lost guys on offense and defense from a player standpoint, but then also coaching staff, front office. So we've talked about that's a team I don't know what the expectations are. Josh Jacobs, he's dealing with the legal issues. So who knows, if that comes to a head. He's had some durability stuff in the past as well. I think there are a lot of paths here for them to have to dig into their depth a little bit. And they'd spent a day 2 pick on Marshawn Lloyd a couple of years ago out of USC, began his career at South Carolina, and he's been nothing but hurt. He's barely played in the NFL through 2 seasons, a lot of soft tissue injuries. It seems like he's healthy and has gotten some of that stuff straightened out. Marshawn Lloyd's a good player. This is the guy that's got talent. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He runs hard. So Marshawn Lloyd is a player where, if you're in fantasy drafts and you're like, it's the late rounds, he's a player that you kind of stash him away, kind of put him away.
I agree.
Pay dividends for you down the road.
I like Lloyd. I liked him in college. What do you think of Golden? He showed flashes toward the end of last year.
Yep.
and they're going to need him, man.
They're putting a lot on him now. Yeah, because
You know?
they usually are like wide receiver by committee, but they lost Dontavian Wicks, they lost Romeo Dobbs. So like, you've got guys coming off injury there. They paid Christian Watson, they paid Jaden Reed. It looks like, like they want Golden to be like that outside the numbers receiver for them, and a guy that can be a separator, consistent possession player. I was not the biggest fan in terms of like, like first round all day. I think where he went, like in the second, third, the a little bit later in the first round was probably my ceiling for him. But I think he could be a fine player. Now he's just gonna have to prove it.
Yeah, I liked him in Texas. All right. NFC.
Got 3 guys left off in the East. Let's go. Let me start with the Eagle first, just because I think Eagles fans are very well aware of this player, obviously, and Moro Ojomo. But I think that he's a guy that's going to be getting paid $100 million, 8 months from now, next March. He's going to be getting paid much like Milton Williams did. He's going to be getting a big money deal. And I think nationally, people are going to be talking about that. So that's going to, going into it, I think everybody's going to say, like, he's the name to circle in free agency. So that would be the breakout player for me with the Eagles. Now, looking around, I picked 2 other players from the East here. Obviously, Washington suffered a huge injury here with Laramie Tunsil, their left tackle, their best player going down with a torn pec. They are going to slide a former third-round pick in Brandon Coleman. Now, Coleman, he played some tackle early in his career before they traded for Tunsil. Then they traded for Tunsil and they kicked Coleman into guard. I do think that's probably a better home for him, but he's a talented player and he plays hard. He's got some athleticism. He's got some size. I do think he's probably better served at guard, but now with the spotlight on him, a little bit older, a little bit more seasoned, I think that he'll perform admirably well, I'll say, for Washington in that spot. So I want to go with Brandon Coleman there. And then for Dallas, to me, this is a player that could be kind of like I don't want to say a season tilting player. That's probably a little too strong. But if they can get quality corner play, Siobhan Revel, who was a third-round pick for them out of ECU last year, he's got all the traits to be kind of like like you think of like DRC.
Somebody was just
right?
talking about him.
He's got all the traits. He's tall, he's long, he's athletic, he's explosive, he can turn the ball over. He tore his ACL in the fall of his final season at ECU, and then it was just slow coming back. And it was rookie year, so like, all right, now new defensive scheme. Christian Parker with his DB background. That's a guy that I've kind of got earmarked as they keep an eye out for that kid, Siobhan Revel. And some of the stuff I've seen from training camp with him, the flashes have been really good against some of their top receivers. So Siobhan Revel is a name to kind of file away for the Cowboys.
You're just elite. It's funny you brought him up because somebody was telling me about him last week. Because we were talking about the Cowboys. I was getting ready for my national show. I was talking to somebody, and they brought him up. And wow, Franny, you are the greatest. You are the best. Elite. I love this. This is going to be our thing, man. This is
our
great
wheelhouse
stuff. Love it. Thank you. Great
Appreciate
stuff.
It, guys.
What are you cooking tonight?
Tonight, I think I'm doing burgers tonight.
Nice.
If I remember right.
Oh, nice.
Now, do you make your own burgers?
Yeah.
Stuff the burgers?
Yeah, come on, we're not getting anything frozen. Yeah.
What do you put on your burger? Like how do you do it?
Well, I don't go nuts because when I was younger and I was like, I just do the grill. I used to go like all kinds of stuff and throw all kinds of stuff in there. Now I just keep it simple. Like just go like 80-20.
Right.
A little, like I've got like my seasonings and stuff.
You're
like
not
that.
stuffing it.
Yeah, I don't go too nuts. If we're having like a big like cookout with like family and stuff, I might like all right, I'm gonna do like a third of them will be like I'm gonna stuff it with like cheese and like peppers and stuff like that. But if I'm just cooking for us, I don't go too crazy.
Okay, good. All right, well, you enjoy well-earned burgers. You're the man, brother. Love you,
Appreciate
buddy.
it, guys.
St. Francis, thank you. St. Francis of football. Excellent stuff. Love my man.
Burgers, the chat's going off about cooking fried rice and all the secret ingredients.
Oh, yeah,
cooking
fried rice.
Fried rice kick in here.
Huh.
Apparently, someone said sesame oil is like the key to make it taste like
Yeah.
Chinese takeout.
Yeah, the sesame oil. That's good stuff right there.
You gotta use day old rice only, cold day old rice.
That's interesting. Give that texture. Yeah. I like it. I like it. I'm a fan of the Asian cuisine.
Love it.
Yeah, I like it. I like the Asian.
I'm all over it.
I've been on a meat kick though. I'm just
Football season, of
I
course.
know. I don't
Starts
know what it
trading
is. We had pesto last night.
Okay.
It was good.
That's not meat.
No, I know. That's why I was saying. Like,
Oh,
I didn't
no
have
meat
any,
with it?
No.
No.
We got home from practice and we had the pesto and I was like, nah.
It's like angel hair?
No. These are these little short curly. They're not a full fusilli. They're like in the fusilli family.
All right. You make your own pesto?
Tam did, yeah.
Oh,
it's
nice.
good. Yeah. It's basil plant. It's good. Got garlic.
Yeah.
Little cheese. All right, let's do a couple nugs and we'll call it a day.
All right.
Because I want to talk about the one kid. That freaked me out.
Yeah. Guess what, buddy? The NBA Cup. They got a date for it when it opens. I know you're on the edge of your seat. The NBA Cup. The date for the Cup. Hold on, let me pull it up. Is Mischief Night, October 30th. It's in Philadelphia, the first game.
I think I want the cup.
Who they playing first game? Mischief Night here to open up the cup competition.
Celtics.
Knicks.
The Knicks are back.
Knicks are back.
Wow. Mischief Night. Open up the cup.
Let's go 7:30.
I think I want the cup.
Yeah,
I think you know
want to win it all.
Yeah. I want to sweep the board. I want the cup. For the first time since this stupid thing was brought up, I want it. I'm going to be rooting for the cup.
In more LeBron news, he unveiled his LeBron 24, Nike LeBron 24s, which we'll be seeing a lot of this year. I'm a fan of these. I mean, it's not Sixers colors. It's supposed to be the lightest basketball shoe he's ever worn, which I'm always a fan of a light kick. They're like a aquamarine, like a turquoise.
I don't like them.
No?
I don't like the color.
You're out of
Carolina Panthers.
Well, they are Colorado.
They're
Carolina Panthers.
I don't like them.
Yeah,
Fish
that's a good
scales with
point.
that color.
I mean, it's a good look. I just don't like the colors.
I kind of like them.
I don't like the colors.
I'm in. I'm in anything LeBron does right now. Dude, what's your favorite part of Mass? Catholic
Peace
Church.
be with you.
Yes.
And also with you.
Yes.
Please now give us a sign of peace.
Yes. So last night, they gave out Pope hats at the White Sox game.
I saw 40,000 popes.
Popes. And between innings, a priest got the microphone.
Oh, fabulous.
They did sign of peace.
It's awesome. Very cool.
We offer each other a sign of peace because we want to bring peace to the world. And I think the Pope would really love that, whether you're Catholic or not. So everybody should stand and find a new friend around you and offer each other the sign of peace.
Ah, that's awesome. That is beautiful. And the Pope
with the organ.
Ah, that's fabulous. I love that.
Yeah, it was fun.
You know, that was my favorite.
You've mentioned it
Yeah.
before. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of
Yeah,
peace.
of course you would. Hugging and shaking hands with people.
Big fan of peace. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good part of it.
Yep. This
Look
one.
across the road.
Oh, yeah.
the
Someone
point.
you can't reach.
Yeah.
You give them the nod.
Yeah.
Point. Yes.
Peace, brother.
Now, this one's going to sting a little bit, especially after Franny's report, where we hear Landon Dickerson's not looking great.
Yeah.
He's looking okay on TikTok.
Oh, no.
Oh, look at those moves, buddy. Little patty cake. Got dog involved. What do you think?
I'm out on TikTok dances. So I'm just out. I don't know what to tell you. I'd rather give me a Bryce latte recipe.
I am with you on the Bryce lattes over the Landon patty cake dance. Yes. Oh, this is the thing, though. The wives all have the TikTok accounts, and the guys look like they're held hostage and have to do the TikToks with their wives.
It's stupid. It's stupid. It's stupid. By the way, Uncle Frank says, is the pasta rotini? No, it is not rotini, Uncle Frank.
He's got 2 strikes today.
No, well,
1 minute to
no,
for
we
a
get
third
these.
strike.
We get these. She gets the pasta. It's like an Italian from the Italian store.
Hmm.
So it's not a normal pasta that you would find.
Oh, it's like a custom made one?
In Italy, there's this zillion pasta. Like there's shapes and pastas that you would never even imagine. Like it's a whole craziness. So it's a different, but she gets it from there, and it was I forget the name of it.
Okay. All right.
It's like a fusilli, but it's whatever.
Yeah. All right, this is a story we've been teased a couple times. Arkansas kids playing football for an hour. Helmet's a little weird feeling.
This is freaky.
He played for an hour with a venomous cotton
He's
mouth.
right there. See his head? To the right of that's where the bubble. See, that's his head.
Oh, there's his tongue. I did.
It's like under the padding.
Can you not get to him? There you go. Pull his ass out.
It's like 2 feet long.
I see him. He's right there. See his head?
Oh
to the right of that's where the bubble. See, that's
Dude,
his
that kid
head.
is so lucky. None of the
It's extremely poisonous.
contact or anything made this
No.
snake flip out. It was just buried under his padding.
He was comfortable, the poor snake.
I see him.
Cottonmouth, that's frightening,
Right
man.
there. See it?
That's in Arkansas.
Yeah.
That's
Cottonmouth? Yeah, I don't go to Arkansas. Check that. Cross that off the list.
Yeah.
Not visiting.
I've
that
been to
place.
Arkansas.
And what's that like? How's the Italian food in Arkansas?
Yeah, it's
They got the only pasta shape they got down there is Boyardee.
Yeah, it's great. It's not. Oof, man, it was backwater. Mississippi,
Yeah.
Arkansas.
I'm out on it all.
I remember driving to Alcorn State to see Steve McNair play college.
I can see that. Yeah.
I got to practice.
Where is Alcorn State? Which state?
It's in Mississippi.
Oof.
And I flew into Jackson, and I had to drive from Jackson to Alcorn State, which was like 3 hours in the middle of like
dude, I'd be
every
by yourself. Oh,
Yeah.
Scared to death.
yeah every
Scared to death.
every stop there was gas stations with chicken. There was every gas station sold the chicken.
Cooked
Fried
chicken, fried chicken. Yeah.
And there was a church, like some sort of church.
Like every mile or so.
Yeah, it was wild. I was like, wow, this is wild. Like
The old
was,
Bible Belt.
It was. It really was. It was interesting.
So Toti 89228 says, "Is it a radiatori?" Now they're trying to guess your shapes.
Radiatore. You know what? It may be. I gotta go. I forget. I gotta actually go back and look at it. The radiators. I don't think so. I think it was because it was something I didn't know about. But my wife got it. I don't know. But it was good. It was a tasty kind of pasta. So you guys, I like the different shapes.
I gotta shape it up. I'm strictly like a rigatoni myself.
Yeah.
I like the way it holds
classics.
the sauce.
Yeah, it's good. But there's all kinds of casarecce.
Oh,
That's a good one.
sounds sexy.
It's like a intertwined pasta.
All right.
Like imagine like two strands of pasta that are curled up together.
Same kind. Like do they mix like a spinach pasta in with it? That's
No
multicolored.
spinach. It's
No, that doesn't-
semolina. No, I don't
okay.
do this. You can't do that stuff.
All right.
There's no such thing as that. Anyway,
All right.
Jules rules.
Julia.
Chat rules. Good stuff, chat. Everybody, thanks for hanging. Don't forget, please like and subscribe to the channel. Try to like and subscribe to it. And
Yeah, that'd be nice.
pump it up a bit. This way we can
Pump
try
it
to
up.
get that third hour for football season. I say it to Jules. Jules like, okay. Everybody, we love you. Have a great day. We'll see you in the morning.
We all silly like the mayor.